Oh,
Wow.
he made that.
Wow. That was crazy. That was a crazy shot.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter.
A. Marie Castillo and JJ Bach.
Game day in Vegas, boys and girls. Game day for the Lobo men. This afternoon, the Lobos open up the Mountain West Conference tournament against the Wyoming Cowboys. JJ and I have switched seats. He's back in the studio in the Burke. I'm here in Vegas. It is the opening drive on a Wednesday on game day on 95.9 FM and AM 610 The Sports Animal. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. Good day, sir. How you living?
What it do?
Good to be back.
It's fun to be back. I wasn't expecting to be back this soon, but here we are.
I wasn't expecting you back this soon either. I figured you and I would have dinner last night, but it is what it is. Ladies are done after a heartbreaker, and now it is up to the men to keep the banner going for Lobo men's basketball. Big one today, and we're going to get obviously deep into it. I stopped by the state tournament at the Pit on yesterday afternoon. Saw a bunch of coaches out there looking around, and we're going to get into that at 9:30 this morning. Sebastian Noel will join us from ProView Networks, and we will talk high school hoops. But it's really, JJ, we're going to get into the Lobos in Wyoming and what they have to do. And Richard Pitino was with us yesterday. If you did not hear Richard and want to, it's up on our podcast. Go grab that. It was good stuff yesterday. What do the Lobos have to do to advance, to win 4 games in 4 days, and to play better defense? But JJ, it's the National Football League that's grabbing the headlines, and imagine this. It is quarterbacks who are grabbing the headlines. Daniel Jones, 4 years, $160 million. Not all guaranteed, certainly. Lamar Jackson, you said someone should get fired if they don't give him the non-exclusive tag. Well, non-exclusive means he could be on the move. Someone could match him. I don't know if you believe in collusion. I don't know what you believe, but he'll make $32.4 million if he stays on this tag. And he's been tagged. And then Aaron Rodgers talking to the Jets. Let's start out with Lamar, and no surprise on the franchise tag, right? I've been telling you this. I'm not the only one. But since the day the season started, when he said, I'm done negotiating, this is where this was headed, this is where it is. But, JJ, they went with non-exclusive. That means other teams can sign him to an offer sheet. The Ravens have the right to match any offer, which I guess protects them if someone comes in, so they'll keep their quarterback. But a lot of teams have said, we're not interested.
This is a really surprising thing to me at this point in time is how many teams immediately are rumored to be not interested in Lamar Jackson. And, I understand all the business implication of this. This allows Baltimore to kind of stick it to Lamar and say, well, you think you're worth something? Well, go find out. And then if they get an offer that they actually like, and they're like, oh, you know what? We're going to match this offer. And it's not going to be what Lamar wants. I don't see any team out there fully guaranteeing him a contract. NFL owners don't want to do that. But this could actually allow Lamar Jackson to get more guaranteed money than Baltimore is willing to give him. Because I think it's outrageous to me that we're sitting here with Lamar Jackson. And don't talk to me about Lamar Jackson at 30 or 35-year-old. He's not that right now. He's a quarterback that if you lock him in for the next 5 years, that's your window. That's what you need to attack if you have Lamar Jackson on your team. That so many teams would say, well, we don't want to pay Lamar Jackson and give it 2 first-round picks because we're going to get a quarterback better than him over that time, you're not with those first-round picks. But I think when it plays out, this allows Lamar to get more guaranteed money because I think one of those teams would come in with a better offer and then put some pressure back on Baltimore and say, are you really willing to give up a very good NFL quarterback for just 2 first-round picks and no plan for your future? And
I don't think they are. I just don't think they are. I think that, to your point, if someone comes in and it says we want him, I don't think they are. But we're going to see, because when it's
if Atlanta or somebody else, does that sound better? By the way, Marie, I just made a little change. Did that do anything as we sit here in Vegas today and try to figure it out on the first one? Did it sound, JJ? Did it sound good? Somebody? Yeah.
You sounded perfect before.
On that sounded a little better, JJ. I don't think that if in fact somebody comes in and says we're going to give him, I don't know, let's just say $42 million a year and guarantee $100 million, $150 million, whatever. I still think Baltimore would come in and match it. I do, but I think what this says is we're going to let the market dictate itself. We're not going to let Deshaun Watson's deal dictate what the market is, and someone else wants to say. Now, there's a lot. I mean, Atlanta was quick to say, yeah, we're not interested. Carolina publicly said, yeah, we're not interested, which is really bizarre in a lot of ways. And there's been a lot of talk of collusion. There's been a lot of talk of what's going on here, what's the issue, and I don't know, man. We'll find out. But to your point on the non-exclusive, it's a $32 million, and it's a bizarre way. And the fact that he has been tagged, to me, is zero surprise. Zero.
No one in the wrestling business has experienced the trials and tribulations, along with redemptions and longevity.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports. Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area.
All right, sorry for the technical difficulties. Sometimes you move a little bit, you're on the road, and things happen, but good to be back. It's the opening drive, Jeff, JJ, and Marie in Vegas and in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Thank you to Coleman Vision, perfect game. California Closets, custom closet systems and solutions for the whole home. New Mexico, look the best in New Mexico souvenirs. Team Apparel and Rich Ford, celebrating 62 years. It's the corner of Lomas and Wyoming Northeast. They're the partners who make sure the JJ and I have been in Vegas for you for the Mountain West Conference Tournament. Lobos go today, 5 o'clock your time in Albuquerque, 4 o'clock in Las Vegas against Wyoming, first round Mountain West Conference men's basketball tournament. All right, so we're talking a little bit of quarterbacks, JJ. We're into talking about where Lamar and that whole thing. And the way I see this playing out is somebody will offer some sort of a deal, and I think Baltimore will match it, and then we'll be settled. But I want to go back before we move on to Daniel Jones. Just your thoughts on the collusion, because I've heard so many former players saying this is obviously collusion, and all of a sudden, all these teams who don't need quarterbacks are saying we're out. Maybe, but the owners better be very careful about this. In fact, that's what's going on.
I understand that NFL owners do not want to go the route of fully guaranteed contracts in the NFL. I get that. But you have a 26-year-old quarterback that, even with the last 2 years, it's fair to say, all right, well, that is very hard to find. It is very hard to find players that are that consistent, that can perform at that high of a level. And here's the thing, too, with Lamar Jackson. And you look at his development as a quarterback in the NFL. A dude is sitting at 63% completion percentage. He's peaked at 66%. Offensively, he can be effective. Yes, his game is still about his athleticism and using his legs, and that's where a question mark comes in. But that's where you need more time to negotiate the contract. You need more guaranteed money. You need some incentives in there, and I think that's absolutely fine. But the amount of teams that quickly came in and said they're out and they don't want to be in this running, one team I'm immediately looking at is the Atlanta Falcons. And hey, you 2 first-round picks, that's scary. Oh, do we want to give up first-round picks? Well, if you're Atlanta, you're sitting there at 8, and you got Desmond Ridder, young guy, might be pretty good, might not be. When you know there's a guaranteed out there in Lamar Jackson. Give up the 8th overall pick this year, a first-round pick next year that if you bring in Lamar, you're most likely to have a playoff team. You're definitely in contention to be better than New Orleans Saints, even with them, Derek Carr, win that division, go to the playoffs, Lamar Jackson and the NFC. That would be fantastic. And that's a team from the get-go that I have been looking at. And this would make so much sense for the Atlanta Falcons to make a good offer, push guarantees up there above, even a Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray area to get Lamar Jackson in town. Because, all right, there's good teams in the NFC. Who still has a giant question mark at quarterback? San Francisco 49ers.
Big.
That's a really good roster. But at some point in time, it's going to come back to bite them, not having consistency. And so if I'm a team like Atlanta that hit on their wide receiver last year, that showed that they can have a good run game, and now I can bring in a quarterback that can highlight the run game and make plays downfield, that's a team I'm waiting on that might just be playing, the slow and quiet game that could immediately pounce on Lamar Jackson.
It's interesting. Yeah, that's a really interesting one. All right, Daniel Jones got his 4 years and 160 million.
We lost your sound there, Jeff, as he's in Las Vegas getting ready for Lobos and Wyoming on the men's side tonight. But looking at these quarterback contracts, and we knew that a lot was going to change yesterday at the franchise deadline. Daniel Jones getting his deal, 4 years, $160 million. A lot of incentives and guarantees up front in the first 2 years. And it's a big number for Daniel Jones, who did it for just 1 year. But that also says that Brian Daboll believes in Daniel Jones. And the San Francisco Giants, they put the franchise tag on Saquon Barkley. And I'm okay. I like that, actually, this year for Saquon Barkley, Josh Jacobs. Now, Josh Jacobs, we mentioned, could you see 3-year, $35, $36 million deal in the range for him? I think that could make sense moving forward as the Las Vegas Raiders try to figure out what the heck that they're going to be doing overall at the quarterback position. Is it going to be Jimmy Garoppolo? Was you see the New York Jets trying to woo Aaron Rodgers in this situation? But the Daniel Jones contract, the Geno Smith contract, it's the early guaranteed money. The quarterbacks are happy, but it's year 3 for Geno Smith, really. 2 and 3 for Geno Smith, year 3 and 4 for Daniel Jones, where if you're not performing, that's what they're allowing you to get out of the contract. And those are the right deals, I think, for those quarterbacks that have just 1 year on their resume. And that's why those guys, it's a different conversation than Lamar Jackson when we're talking about the guaranteed money. I get it. It's here we go again. We're talking about guaranteed money, contracts, this or that, but that's still the position. If you lock it down, you have that guy, you can build your franchise differently moving forward. 505-246-0610, 377 Brewery Hotline here on The Sports Animal. Oh, man.
It's a good old technology. We're gonna figure it out, though. We're gonna get Jeff back here.
How you feeling about all the quarterbacks moves that we?
I was really surprised, JJ, starting off with Lamar Jackson, that like no one had super interest in him yesterday. And I don't know if it's because we've learned from Deshaun Watson, Kyler Murray, all these guys, but I have to agree with you that like he's worth it. Everyone's acting like I've never seen this before in most recent times, that I can't believe no one's going after a 26-year-old top 10 quarterback who has been a former MVP and no one wants to pay him.
Are there things that it's fair to point out about Lamar Jackson's game? Absolutely. The last 2 years he's missed some time. There's still such a stigma with running quarterbacks in the NFL. Can you actually win a championship with a quarterback like Lamar Jackson, and I think you can. Like Lamar Jackson, you look at what you have to do. And if you're going to compare every situation, well, he's not Patrick Mahomes, then everyone should stop trying at this point in time. Like, just give up. Don't go after quarterbacks if they're not Patrick Mahomes. Joe Burrow's award. We saw what Jalen Hurts could do. Even giving up 2 first-round picks in this deal, if you end up paying Lamar Jackson, you're locked in for 5 years with a very good quarterback. You know
Top
how
10,
to attack.
top 10
At some
quarterback.
point in time, we're going to be screaming about the Cincinnati Bengals paying Joe Burrow.
Justin Herbert.
Justin Herbert getting paid. Like, it's going to happen when you have a good quarterback. And I feel that the value is there for Lamar Jackson. Like, if you're looking at Lamar and you're scared to pay him because Kyler Murray tore his ACL or Russell Wilson fell off a cliff last season, then I don't think you're doing a good job at your job being an NFL general manager when you have to assess every situation, when you do need to take a step back and look at the big picture. And sometimes the easy assumption isn't the right assumption, but I just don't see a bad path moving forward. If you say, hey, next 5 years, Lamar Jackson's our franchise quarterback, we got him locked in at this number, maybe it's a high amount of guaranteed money. But think about it. If he goes to the NFC, you have 2 really good rosters. That
Niners.
At some point, they're going to have to run into their issues of paying everybody. Philadelphia. Now, Philadelphia's got a interesting guy that might have to pay at quarterback position. But, when it comes to, Daniel Jones and Geno Smith, those are still short-term deals, not locked in long on those guys. It is wide open in the NFC if you can land a quarterback of that caliber.
What do you think of Daniel Jones in 160 at $4 million, and where they landed with the $82 million guaranteed? Does that feel about right for you?
It does.
Because it does to me.
Because when you look at the Geno Smith contract, it's a lot of money in year 1. Year 2 and 3, it's easier to get out. Daniel Jones, year 3 and 4, like those ones make a ton of sense. If I'm, looking at Lamar Jackson, I understand why you'd need to guarantee that guy a lot more money, and he would hold out for more security than Geno Smith and Daniel Jones have at this point in time.
Yeah, that one felt about right. That one felt like where that was supposed to land. It's in the same area. He got 1 more year, but although not guaranteed than Geno. How much did Geno get? Was guaranteed, right? He got 100. I want to say, I thought it was 75. I thought it was 75-ish, right? And then the rest of it's incentives, up to 105, 110. So, and that was 3 years. So it feels about right? We all felt like they were in the same boat, didn't we?
Oh, yeah, because they're Mr. Right Now, and that's not a bad place to be. They're in a good place for their franchises.
Yeah, I think that's all right.
Until they find the future.
So the Ravens right now, they can match the deal if someone else makes a deal, or they can take the 2 first-round picks. JJ, my gut tells me where this goes is if someone jumps in, right, and someone's going to jump in and try to make a deal for, I don't know, $40-something million, and they'll match that, right? I don't think they're going to let them walk out the door. To me, they're going to let somebody else dictate where this market goes, and it's not going to be Deshaun Watson, the guy who signed the guaranteed money. They're just not willing to let him do that.
The thing with Lamar too, when you look at him as a quarterback, and there's fair things to point out, as with every player in the NFL. But do we just really feel that he cannot be a conference champion?
Who's we? I mean, because it's a really fair question. Do we, right? So, do
NFL,
you and I? Yeah.
The NFL fans at large, because for some reason, and I get it, it's like, show me who's done it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've watched, plenty of different quarterbacks get to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but in the AFC over the last few years, it's been 2.
Yeah, so that's why I just don't know why there's still such a stigma
on him
with running quarterbacks.
Well, let me ask you this:
can't win at a high level. The last 2 years, it's fair, as you just pointed out, Jeff. He's missed some games.
All right, so can he throw? And I think it's a fair question. He's gotten better at throwing the football, and we get lost in this conversation that you've got to have the mobile quarterback, and I think you do to some extent. But you know what else you got to have? A guy who can thread the needle, a guy who can throw the football, a guy who is really, really good at going through windows in tough situations. And is there a question about him and his ability to do that while he's gotten better? I mean, there's not an argument he's mobile. There's not an argument that he can get you 100 yards a game. Are you convinced in the AFC? It's a fair question. You just asked it, okay? You asked the question, can he win the conference championship, get you to a Super Bowl? Well, he's got to go through Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers, Justin Herbert. Aaron Rodgers talked to the Jets.
Trevor Lawrence. Playoff game, Justin Herbert, before we come back to you at some point in time.
Jalen Hurts.
Well, you know where I am with that one. Well, but the question's fair. So, can he win the AFC?
All right, Trevor Lawrence. I'll put Trevor Lawrence up in front of Justin Herbert.
I think you should. Well, can he compete with those guys?
Because that's what I get frustrated with. I get it. No one is Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow right now.
Okay.
But so then we're just going to say, well, let's just give Daniel Jones and Geno Smith small deals because we can't win anyway. Patrick Mahomes is in the NFL.
Well, I don't know.
Brady lost some.
Yeah. I don't know if they're small deals. They're just not deals that match what those guys got. And I don't have a problem paying the elite a different level than the really good. And I think Lamar Jackson's the really good. And I know there's plenty who think he's elite. But, okay, that's a really, really good way to put it. You asked the right question. Can he win the AFC? Well, I don't know. Do you think he can? You think you can get through those guys? Who are you taking? You taking 4 or 5 guys before you're taking him right now? Okay. Then why would he get the biggest deal, the most guaranteed money? We haven't even mentioned the guy who everybody's measured against in regards to contracts, and he's in the AFC. We haven't mentioned Deshaun Watson. So it's a great way to put it. Do you give that guy the biggest deal when you probably got him 4th or 5th in his conference? I think it's a fair.
I understand he's not getting the biggest deal, and I know that's what he's looking for. But that's the way I look at these things.
No,
is everyone tells me, oh, he's not Patrick Mahomes, he's not Joe Burrow, so no one else is in the league. And so do you just stop trying at the quarterback position?
No.
At that point in time, you're just punting on it and say we're just not going to pay a guy as long as Patrick Mahomes is in the NFL. And so that's where I'm kind of looking at it is, do you believe that even at $200 million guaranteed over the next 5 years, that you can compete to beat one of those quarterbacks? And if the answer is no, then we'll see maybe a year or two with the franchise tag Lamar Jackson and see what the future has in store.
Well, is not giving him the biggest deal, is not giving him what he's demanding, the top dollar guaranteed. Is that not trying? I mean, it's not like they offered him $10, $15 million a year. From what I understand, they came in and offered him over $40-something million a year. It just wasn't all guaranteed. Is that not trying? I don't know that I go there by just saying we're not giving him what Deshaun Watson wants or what Deshaun Watson got. To me, that's not trying. We're not saying that guy reset the market. And that to me, it's just philosophical differences. And I know the players are all saying, well, give him his money because then we can all get our guaranteed contracts. And the owner's been holding on to this non-guaranteed contract since the 70s. That, to me, that's where this whole thing, that's where the tug of war is. It's all about the precedent of the guaranteed contracts. Am I wrong on this? Am I missing something here?
No, you're not wrong.
I just think all of us are trying to figure it out. You're like, okay, because we've heard all the things that could go wrong. His injuries, he doesn't have an agent, he might not fit a scheme. Like, I think just all of us at the end of the day are surprised that not a team hasn't really picked up on him yet. Especially after yesterday, we were gonna see what happens.
Yeah, it's been 18 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, 505-246-0610 if you want to get in. Probably should give you some phone numbers to play radio with us today. That's the 377 Brewery hotline. It is also the text line. That's how you get to us, 505-246-0610. Emails will come in this morning, Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com, JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. We're going to talk some Lobo hoops when we come back. And there was a big one across town here in Vegas last night. What Gonzaga's win means going into the tournament, and maybe don't just count the Zags out yet. I'll tell you why. That's coming up next.
And I gotta tell you about 377 Brewery. I've been telling you every single day. And if you haven't been over there, I don't know what I gotta do to get you over there. And I know what it is. It's live entertainment. 377 Brewery is not just a brewery. They have a huge event space that's amazing, and they have live music. And this Friday we have stand-up comedy starting at 7 p.m. and it's only $10. $10 is a deal these days for seeing some of Albuquerque's best comics. It's every second Friday of the month. You can catch this Friday, 7 p.m. You can catch 3 comics, Steph Darnell, Chuck Parker, and Sarah Kennedy. If you don't know those names, you need to know them. They are making strides here in Albuquerque in the comedy scene. So come out to 377 Brewery. They do have a full kitchen and full bar too available during the show. So again, Friday, March 10th, 7 p.m., only $10. Get out there and then come check out 377 Brewery in general. You can check them out at 377brewery.com or check them out at the northwest corner of Yale and Gibson.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust. and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At U.S. Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
The text line about this, before we go into the hoops, it's really interesting. You said on the text line about Lamar Jackson, the colossal mistake, it says, that was the Deshaun Watson contract is the precise reason why no one's interested in Lamar. He needs to understand not every NFL team is as stupid and dysfunctional as the Cleveland Browns. And, JJ, I think therein lies the biggest – and we're just down to who's going to be stronger here, the players or the owners. The players want guaranteed contracts. And the owners flat out and for years have stayed away from guaranteed all guaranteed contracts, right? Like you say, you always tell me, guy signs a 6-year deal. It doesn't matter what's in 6 years. He's not going to be around. The money's front-loaded. He's getting his money up front, and it doesn't matter. And when Cleveland went out and gave this guy, of all guys, it wasn't Patrick Mahomes, it wasn't even Joe Burrow or your guy Justin Herbert. It was Deshaun Watson, because there was a franchise who hadn't had a quarterback in 3 decades and was desperate. And there was a guy in Houston that wanted to get out, that they wanted out, that was highly controversial. And Cleveland blew the entire lid off of the market. And now you got players screaming, you watch any talking head show, and every ex-player is just saying it's collusion and give the guys money, and we've been wanting this for years. And to me, now that's what it's about. It's not even about paying Lamar the money Patrick Mahomes or Joe Burrow or even Russell Wilson's getting. Now it's about blowing the lid off of this one piece the owners have been holding on to forever, and they're not willing to budge on this, and the players feel like they've got an opening right now.
They do, and this is the bash your head against the wall business side of it, of who's richer and who doesn't want to spend more of their money in this talk. Comes down to, can you push the guarantees in a higher, but come down in a situation where they're both comfortable. And this will give Baltimore the opportunity to still negotiate with Lamar, even with a non-exclusive tag. And I just think it's fascinating, because my biggest thing is, guaranteed money, whatever they settle on, you still are asking yourself with all these deals, is if we have this player making X amount of money as our starting quarterback, can we compete? And that's a question I'll go back to, is if you have Lamar Jackson as your quarterback, even with a lot of guaranteed money, because there's plenty of quarterbacks out there with the fully guaranteed, partial guarantees that are very expensive in the NFL. Can you compete to win one game? And let's get to your conference championship and go to the Super Bowl. Whatever guaranteed money it is, I think they'll push those numbers higher, because the last report was $133 million guaranteed, which
is a pretty good chunk of money.
Would be the second most guaranteed money on a contract right now in the NFL. I don't know what
After-
the quote unquote partial guarantees would be, because those numbers are a lot higher when you start looking at the other quarterbacks that have signed deals.
Yeah, I mean, and the most obviously would be for Lamar, right? Yeah. All right. If you want to get in on that, we're here for you. We'll take your calls. It's 505-246-0610, and that's you're welcome to get in on Lamar and quarterbacks and any of that stuff. It is game day, and we are in Vegas, and there's a ton going on here. So last night, JJ, pretty good buzz around town. I know you were here all week, and you were here for the West Coast Conference tournament. The WAC was playing over at the Mandalay Bay. You had the West Coast Conference going on, and Gonzaga won. And as I was watching Gonzaga beat St. Mary's yesterday, and I was watching them beat them 77-51. JJ, I think it was significant. I'm going to tell you why I think it was significant. This may be the year. Now, not the year that they win it all, and I don't even know what that means because they've been to the final game. Don't count Gonzaga out. This is by no means the best Gonzaga team that we've seen. And when we talk to Jerry Palm tomorrow, I'm really interested to see what the guru, the bracketologist from CBS Sports has to say. That'll be tomorrow at 8:30. But the way they beat St. Mary's, a team that the computers love, all the metrics love, JJ, they are made for this time of year. They play an insane schedule, non-conference. They play anybody who will play them. They'll go to Baylor. They'll go to Texas. They'll play in all the best tournaments. They're made for this. And they've got a coach who is as good a coach as there is in America in Mark Few. Drew Timme is kind of, to me, I don't want to say the Tim Tebow, but give me a guy, maybe it is Tim Tebow. I don't know if he's going to be a great pro, but he is a damn great college basketball player. And I think they learned something from last year. Let's see what the draw looks like, but don't count Gonzaga out getting to the Final Four.
You can't, because they are such a solid team overall. Their backcourt is not as good as it has been, but yet you still see them put up a performance like that against St. Mary's. And the big guy can still dominate in college basketball. Big guys are still a huge part of the game wherever you're playing basketball. And Drew Timme, he's a dude that I think because he was never viewed as a lottery pick, he doesn't get the respect that he deserves in college basketball. And there's been a few games where he's been pushed around. And I think that when you talk about Drew Timme, and if people don't know about him, like, he is like the ultimate college basketball player.
Well,
and I think the fact that, he's been beat up a little bit by quote unquote more athletic dudes, guys that have NBA ceilings. And I think that's why this year, if you're watching any of the West Coast Conference games, or even I was watching some of the semifinals, like, he's been more emotional than I've seen Drew Timme. And I think he's at the edge. He's got the fire that he himself is also out there to prove that all the talk about him being one of the best big guys in college basketball is true. And don't get caught up in just looking at the NBA, look at what he's doing right now. And that's why Gonzaga still has an opportunity to go on a deep run, even if they're maybe not as talented on the perimeter because of him.
Yeah, I think there's nothing wrong with being a great college player. I just think back to, so many football players, and Tim Tebow's always kind of the guy, but, I tell you Kellen Moore all the time. Kellen Moore was a great college football player. Look around here and how many guys have been just in this league, how many great college football players there have been. There's no shame in that. And I think he's a great college basketball player. Do not look past Gonzaga. Do not. I just thought they were so dominant last night. I thought they would win last night. JJ, there's no way I thought they would be up by 30 and win that game by 26 points last night. There's just no way. Did you? I mean, it was such a bummer of a watch because it was so anticipated. It was so... I mean, that was as good of a conference final as we were going to get early in the week. I mean, look, it was no Merrimack Farley Dickinson, but it was something else. By the way, what are we doing? Was it last year? Was it Bellarmine who won their conference, right? They won the A-Sun, and they were transitioning to Division I, so they're not eligible. Last night, Merrimack, who was transitioning to Division I, won their conference tournament championship, and they don't get to go to the NCAA tournament because they're transitioning. and it's going to be 3 or 4 years. And so Fairleigh Dickinson, who finished second, gets to go. Will you, somebody please explain the point to me? Like who, it does who any good? If they're good enough to win their damn league, aren't they good enough to go to the NCAA tournament?
Yep, it's one of the dumb rules the NCAA has. It's absolutely terrible. It makes no sense that you can't compete in the NCAA tournament. That does not help a team.
Anybody.
Position. Oh, you can't play in the postseason because, we're going to give you time to compete. Well, if you're competing right away, what does it matter? It's one of the worst NCAA rules out there. It's made zero sense. We've talked about this for years and years. That's something a transition committee, speaking of transition, for the NCAA, definitely needs to look at. Like, hey, if teams become Division I and they're good, why do we penalize them?
Yeah. All right. That'll transition us into basketball. When we come back, I was talking to some Wyoming people last night, bouncing around the hotel. I'll tell you why they think they can beat the Lobos tonight. We'll get into Lobos and Wyoming. That game is at 4 o'clock here, 5 o'clock your time over on News Radio KKOB. And I'll also tell you how to find it, how to watch it, because it's not the conventional ways, not what you're used to. That's coming up next. Hey, the year moves along. Here we are in March, coming up on mid-March. And you head into spring, and you tend to have some things that go left undone. Don't let taking care of you go undone. Guys, if you're dealing with natural things like fatigue, weight gain, depression, even erectile dysfunction, do yourself a favor and call NuMale. NuMale has helped thousands of men feel better. They're right there in Albuquerque. They will help you deal with those sorts of things. You'll feel better. You'll perform better. So do this for you. Also, for men and ladies dealing with hair loss, NuMale is your solution. Call them at 505-652-1688, 505-652-1688, or online at NuMale, NuMale.com. So NuMale's professionals walk you through the options. You'll choose what's best for you. Platelet-rich plasma hair therapy, which uses your own platelets to stimulate stem cells deep in your hair follicle, stops hair loss, you regrow hair. FDA-cleared clinical hair restoration laser, proven to regrow hair. And they offer you the NeoGraft hair transplants, which produce natural-looking results in less than a week with no linear scarring. Men and ladies, call NuMale. 505-652-1688, 505-652-1688, or online at NuMale.com.
Too strong. It's going to be a rebound there by Brown. Brown gets it in. Bucket there by Alter.
Crossover for Jackson. Salas steals the rebound and finds a cutting Mitchell at the rim.
Great move.
It's almost even in the foul territory, and the Cueva looking to take advantage. Said Yates draws the foul, and one opportunity is Said gives the muscles down.
And it's 11-4, 38. Another turnover by Rio Grande. Montoya off the glass, up and in, back-to-back layups for the Demons.
Stolen away again by Valdez. Valdez is going to bring it out.
Valdez has to have around 3 or 4 steals. 3 by Mays.
Bingo! That one rattles in for Alyssa Mays, and the All-District Player of the Year has 12.
Penetrates, no foul called. Rodriguez lines one up and knocks down the 3. First basket of the night.
Back it out.
Look at this deep 3.
Wow! That was from NBA range.
What a steal. Stevison 2-on-1. Gets up. Gets it in.
He doesn't use it. Comes back out to Dominguez, who takes a 3. Boom! There's that man, Superman.
shoots off. Oh, he made that.
Wow. That was crazy. That was a crazy shot.
Has everybody on him. Now he got open.
Open look for a three, and that's what he does. A three for Dennerclaw. His first bucket of the game. And that's a three, and it'll count at the buzzer.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
So why does Wyoming, and why wouldn't they, I guess, is more the question. Why don't they think they could beat the Lobos? Of course they do. Lobos and Wyoming here in Vegas today, first-round conference tournament. It'll be at 5 o'clock over on News Radio KKOB. I was talking to some people in administration of Wyoming last night, and they're like, look, we beat them. We almost beat them at our place. I mean, they're good, but they feel like their 6-7 guys, JJ, are good enough to beat New Mexico, and I mean, they're not wrong. They went into the pit and did it. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, 505-246-0610. What's your take? What's your feel going in tonight? Is this a fragile Lobo team that comes in, loses 7 of their last 10, and they could get bounced today? Because I've been telling you, I think there's a lot of progress. But I think tonight's a really big game just for momentum and feel around the program.
It's huge. It's a conference tournament. And if you go one and done in Vegas, you lose so much of that momentum. And I know Richard Pitino, he's done his job trying to push back on that narrative and say, hey, postseason play in year 2, if it happens to be the NIT, is not a terrible thing for this program, but it will be a really hard thing to swallow for Lobo fans, seeing the heights that this team reached to being a team that it was no doubt, man, they're going to the NCAA tournament. We don't have to worry about winning 3 games in Las Vegas. No, that's just going to be icing on the cake, and then all of a sudden it became 4 games, and that cake turned into stale bread, and now you're sitting there going, how am I supposed to swallow this? And if they lose to Wyoming, it's going to take some time for Lobo fans just to wrap their head around everything that happened this season.
3-day-old pastry sitting there in the bin at Smith's on sale for that. Remember when your boy John Summers, the voice guy, the news guy, and he brought in those bagels and it was like
Moldy
12
bagel.
for $2 and they were moldy. That's what that mess is. All right, 505-246. Hey, I brought in bagels. Would everybody like bagels? And they're like, I got mold on them, bro. Why do you think they were $3 for a dozen? Man, because they're old and moldy and they wanted them out their place. Tony, good morning. You are on is he not there anymore? Tony's gone? All right, sorry. That's my bad. See, I can't see the lights. Now, when I'm sitting in Vegas, I can't see lights. They just tell me, hey, Tony's on the line. Okay, let's go to Tony. But you're welcome to get in just because I'm in Vegas and JJ's and A-Marie are back in the border. So is Adrian, by the way. And appreciate him working on the visual medium side. Yeah, this is big. Obviously, not just to go on, right? I mean, it's a conference tournament, and it's not even the quarterfinal round. If they go out and lose to the 11th seed, an 11-team league, and lose to a beat-up, depleted team again, and they got beat in their gym. Look, Wyoming kicked UNM's tail. All right, that game in the pit, and you could tell me House wasn't there, and you are 100% right. And you contend, and I'm on this train. I think they're a different team without House. It's funny. It's funny perspective. I had dinner with some college basketball coaches last night, JJ. Coaches who are not coaches in this league. And you know the guy they raved about? Like, they love Mashburn. Everybody loves Mashburn. They could not stop raving about Mashburn. I'm sorry, about Jalen House. And they said to me, and this is the one thing that I'm like, wow, I got to share this. I'm not going to tell you who it was, but this is a Division I college basketball team, and I had some dinner with these guys. They said at least 5 times we used cut-ups of Jalen House to show our team in video sessions defense. Not about offense, not about pushing the ball, but they used cut-ups, and you hear coaches all the time talk about video sessions, right? They used, and he said at least 5 times this year, and this is a different league now, so they're watching everything, of Jalen House playing defense on how to play defense as a point guard. And I know y'all like to, some of you, not all y'all, but some of you like to bang on Jalen House. The respect that man has outside of here, I tell you all the time, and this isn't, I don't know, sometimes it all comes back. I tell you the New Mexico Bulls got a better reputation outside of Albuquerque than it does in Albuquerque sometimes, right? Because I know the reputation we have outside. Jalen House has a better reputation outside of Albuquerque than maybe he does here, where he should be appreciated and loved. And it's crazy, but it totally validated what you and I have been saying about him.
Because Jalen House, it's about the effort and what he's able to accomplish. Jalen House is a cornerback that takes risk. He's a guy that maybe he gets beat a couple times.
That's great.
He'll get you some big-time interceptions and turnovers, and that's his game, and that's what he has to do. Because if Jalen House just sat back and wasn't aggressive, he'd probably be eating up a lot more defensively with his size and guys going right at him. So he's aggressive, the steals, the points in transition, like it works out. There's a balance on this team. Now, they've been way more up and down than you'd expect at times, because I know people point out the Wyoming game and say, well, Jalen House wasn't there. Well, he was there against Colorado State. And they got run.
Yeah. Yeah. So, look, I'm not telling you can do it all by himself. I'm going to tell you, though, they're a different team without him. They got him. They're playing a team that beat them when Jalen House wasn't there. So it's a big deal. All right. So what do the Lobos have to do to win? We're going to get into that next. How do they beat Wyoming? What do you mean, Jeff? How do they beat the last place team? You got to have that conversation, because that last place team beat you last time in your crib. It's next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
I'm New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta, A. Marie Castillo, and J.J. Bob.
All right, so Lobos are opening up conference tournament today against the team that finished last in their league. It should be easy, Jeff. I mean, there you go. They had to play the first round, but yeah, at least they stayed away from the number one seed. Yeah, not so fast, my friend. Good morning to you. It's game day here in Vegas on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, A. Marie. Glad you're with us. You can get in at 505-246. 60610 if you want to talk Lobo Hoops or if you want to go anywhere. So we got two lines open for you right now. So you better respect him. JJ, they got 6 dudes on that last place team who played in the NCAA tournament last year. How many guys you got who played in the NCAA tournament last year? That's what I thought. This is a team you better respect. They said we respect them because they beat us. I hope so. I think Lobos got to come out quick tonight. I think if they get down early, the one thing that can concern you is confidence. And if they get down early and Wyoming brings a crowd, they're them, San Diego State, New Mexico bring crowds to this thing. Obviously UNLV, JJ, that place can get moving a little bit, get bumping, and you could have a problem.
I know it for the Lobos. To me, it's going to be defending a 3-point line, push them off. Maldonado is a matchup nightmare for this team. He is such a good basketball player with his length, his scoring ability, but they can't let Odin, Ducell, Hunter Thompson, Winslow just start hitting threes. If you start looking at the made threes, 7, 8, 9, 10 for Wyoming, that's going to give them a lot of confidence. That's going to put a lot of pressure on the Lobos because when we've seen things for New Mexico, it's defensively, it just can start just rolling for them when a team gets going, and that's when they don't find a way, to get a stop or two. And you mentioned that quick start. We get the Lobos; they're about offensive efficiency to cover up some of those other warts. But if Wyoming gets it going early, then that's when they find themselves in that long shootout game, and then you might have a lot of people going, "Wait, the Lobos are 7-point favorites, and this is a score right now." Yep.
7 feels like a thick number to me, too. 505-246-0610. Let's go. You want to talk Lobos. Let's hear what you got to say. Manny, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. What's up?
Well, Viva Las Vegas. Huh? You know what, Jeff? It's pretty early over there, man. Thank you for providing us the show. But let's think about this, man. Wyoming's last. I know they got 6 guys that have been in the NCAA tournament. They still finished last, man. Let's put them out of their misery today. Let's go on the 4-game run. Let's get to the dance. That's all we got to do, man. Good luck, Lobos. Good show this morning, guys. Always a lot of respect for all three of you. JJ, good job on the radio yesterday, man. I felt so bad for the girls. Or a couple of days ago, felt so bad for the girls, but, we got to bounce back. V&A Cumber, that's my girl.
Thanks, Matty. No, I appreciate the kind words, and it'd be nothing more fun than going on a 4-day run, wouldn't it? I mean, look, what would be more fun than watching this team go on a run and get to the NCAA tournament and sit here on Monday and talk about
fun.
Ah.
We wanted to have fun this year, Jeff.
I know.
Didn't have fun this year.
You know what's crazy about it? I thought about that too. And remember when Hunter Green was on with us when they were going on that 14-0 run? And I said it to him and I said it to Robert Portnoy, the voice of Lobos. I'm so happy for those guys. And you went through it last year, right? You went through this crazy run where they won the conference. And those guys have been on it hasn't been a fun 8 years covering Lobo basketball. It just hasn't. And this year was so fun, and you could see Robert and Hunter just having a good time. I got to call 2 games during that run, and it was enjoyable, man. And so, yeah, winning in Vegas, hell, winning period is fun. Wayne, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Wayne.
Good morning. Do you think Steve Alford, now that he's in Vegas or Nevada, that he's kind of favorable with the tournament? I remember when he was here at UNM, he didn't like it that their games were in Vegas because it's a favorable advantage to the Nevada team. So I don't know what his take is now.
I think he hates
it. Now a Vegas coach too. So I was just curious what your thoughts were in regards to that. But I think when it comes to the tournament, if you're the better team, you definitely usually should win. I mean, you're going to have outliers, especially during the regular season. But when it comes to tournament time, if you're truly the better team, you should prevail. But the way the Lobos have played this season in conference play, they were doing good before they got into conference play, right? It's when they got into it, that's when they started having inconsistencies in their games and in their plays. And a lot of times conference teams, they know you better, right? So they play you a little bit better as well. So I think I do see the Lobos winning this game, but I don't see them winning the tournament because how they've been inconsistent with conference play as it is. So I definitely see them winning this game because I think they are the better team. So the better team usually wins that game, but I think the Lobos haven't been consistent enough to be able to pull off a run within the tournament. But I do remember hearing them when they first were interviewing, when they were on that run, that they said they're actually exceeding expectations because they think that next year should be better than they are. So I think I agree with their coaches by saying, like, hey, it's even if we make the NIT, we're still going to be proud of our season. And I think that's how they should look at it. I was like, I don't think they should just be lackadaisical because they think they are the better team, but I do think the better team usually wins in the tournaments because they usually have to bring up their game, and it kind of gives them more of a motivation. So I do see them winning this, maybe the next game, but I do not see them winning this tournament, and I think they might do well in the NIT, but that's just my take on that.
No, it's good, Wayne. All right, so a couple things. I don't think Steve Alford is happy that it's any happier that it's in Vegas than he was before. That now that's their rivals, right? Now UNLV is Reno's rival, and it's a long way. It's not like it's a quick drive down from Reno to Vegas. So I mean, no, I haven't heard him be vocal about it, but I don't think he loves it anymore. And I think he's right, man. The better team maybe should win. JJ, it's not a shame to sit here and say, and I know our next caller's not going to like this, and he's going to tell me I'm rooting against him, but it's not. I don't think it's a reach to say they're probably not the best team here. Now, can they win this tournament? Lobos can win this tournament. Have they beaten any of those teams except for Utah State in front of them? Yeah, they have. But would you say, if someone asks you who's the best team in this league, would you say it's New Mexico?
Not right now.
I
It's the
wouldn't.
inconsistency. It's looking at the overall body of work in conference play. It's a team that they've shown you that they can compete with anyone in the conference, that they can win those games, and they've shown you that they could lose to everyone in the conference, which is why we're having this discussion today about I think the Lobos are going to win, but it's not, hey, I'm putting my mortgage on it because they have been so inconsistent in conference play.
There's a guy, Bill Parcells, right, who said, "You are what your record says you are." Wasn't it him? And they're 8-10. Now, is there a slim margin between 1 and 6? Yeah, I don't think San Diego State is way better than New Mexico. You saw that. New Mexico beat them there, damn near beat them in the pit. But I think most people would say, yeah, but San Diego State's probably better. Is Boise State way better? You are what your record says you are. So, Mud, that doesn't mean I'm rooting against your team because I think they got a chance. Good morning, Mud. You're on the Sports Animal.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. Amory. Good morning, Lobo Nation. It's game day. I think that you guys hit it on the head, but I was going to say I really like that when Coach Pitino put Josiah Alec on Bradley when they were playing San Diego State over there.
Yeah.
I think he did a good job by controlling that. I think if he does put anybody on Hunter Maldonado, I think maybe Josiah. I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, I like the way Josiah plays defense also. He's a tough cat inside, outside. So I don't know. I mean, that could be a possibility. And I don't know. I kind of feel that if Coach Pitino has a team in their right mind and they're not playing, emotional. I know they play emotional, but they need to concentrate on playing defense. And if they play defense, look out. I mean, who knows? I mean, they could go and
That's
win
right.
all these games the next 4 days. But let's be realistic. If they don't do it or whatever, I think that if they go to NIT, so be it, man. I'm happy that they're in postseason play. And let's get them, Lobos. Let's beat Wyoming today.
All right,
Go
Mud.
Lobos.
Appreciate you. So, JJ, it's a really good question. And I think Maldonado is a different guy than Bradley for San Diego State. Maldonado, to me, is longer and probably a little quicker. Bradley is a crafty scorer who doesn't impress you overly with his size and his quickness, but he just finds a way to do it. Do you like Javonte on Maldonado tonight, or do you like putting Josiah Alec on him?
Yeah, I think that's a tougher cover for Alec on Maldonado because of his quickness.
Yeah.
Bradley is solid, but he's not the dribbler that Maldonado is. Maldonado is more of a creator. Bradley's kind of physical guy, get to a spot, take a shot, where Maldonado, I think the lateral quickness, the athleticism, maybe mix it up, throw some different looks at him, but I don't think you'd be successful for 40 minutes with Alec guarding Maldonado.
All right, if you're there, stay there. I want to hear from you today at 505-246-0610. As Mud said, good morning, Lobo Nation. It's game day. Isn't that what he just told you? It is game day, and it's a big game day. And I know it's one that you didn't want to play. You didn't want to be playing on Wednesday, but you are. And now it becomes a really, really big deal kind of for the season and for the program moving forward. And we'll continue to get through that at 505-246-0610. I stopped by the Pit on my way. Well, not even on my way out of town. I stopped by yesterday, got some of the excitement of high school basketball. The boys take center stage today at the Pit. We're going to catch up with Sebastian Noel at 9:30 and get you the excitement of just one of the biggest events in our state, and that's the high school basketball tournament, and it's going on, so he'll catch us up on that. Hey, business owners, are your computers and your network secure? Like, you got to be secure about this and sure about it and really sure. Call ABQ IT. You got to know your system's protected from hackers and cybercrime, because a gap in your cybersecurity can do major damage to your business, and this threat is real. ABQ IT provides a thorough look at your computer security. They'll tell you where you may be at risk. ABQ IT created a business model designed to protect you from malicious threats, to keep your computers up to date, and they do it at one affordable cost. Now, by June 9th, many of you are going to have to ensure the personal data of your customers is protected. You're aware of the FTC safeguards rule? Your business may face penalties if you're not compliant by that deadline. With ABQ IT, you'll be prepared. So there's no hourly rate, no labor billing, no hidden fees. Your rate's predictable. It will not change. You got to protect your business, because it's just not worth the risk thinking something bad won't happen to you. Trust the experts in cybersecurity and compliance. Visit them online at abq-it.com, abq-it.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area.
Vegas, we're here and looking forward to game day. What's up? Happy Wednesday. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta and J.J. Buck. Thank you to Rich Ford, celebrating 62 years at the corner of Lomas and Wyoming Northeast. California Closets, custom closet systems and solutions for the whole home. New Mexico Look, the best in New Mexico souvenirs and team apparel. And Coleman Vision, perfect game. They are the reason that we are here for you. All right, so you've been telling me the last place team, you should beat them. You're better than them. You're not wrong, JJ. I mean, you're not wrong. But it's really not that easy, is it?
It's not that easy, especially with the roller coaster ride that has been Mountain West Conference play for the Lobos.
All right, Carl says advantage Wyoming, Jeff. The Pokes are going to Vegas to win one game. Anything more than that, they're playing with house money. They can go all out tonight because they're not playing into the weekend. Lobos are going into Wayne Newton's place, needing 4. Can't use up their entire team in this one. Patino needs to save some team for the rest of the week. I don't know that's what he's doing. What did he tell me? He told us yesterday, right? All hands on deck.
There's no saving, man. You win the game, you drink your Gatorade, you go to bed, you wake up, you play another game tomorrow, man.
Yeah. Ron says, I was talking to Utah State fans. The winner of this game gets Utah State tomorrow. He says they wouldn't mind seeing the Lobos in Wyoming go 3-4 overtime. Sure they wouldn't. No, of course they wouldn't. Nervous Lobo fans. This is from Dan, Jeffrey, Juan Jose, Yana Maria. I've already spoken to Lobo fans this morning who didn't get a lot of sleep last night. Lose to Wyoming and everything accomplished this season. Getting 15,000 in Dream Style is down the drain. You're back to step 1. Wow. Is it that drastic? Do you lose everything?
You don't lose everything. In the moment, people will feel that way.
It's
but
going to
you
be
don't
bad.
lose everything.
Yeah, I agree with that. All right, let's go to the phones. 505-246-0610. That's the text line and the 377 Brewery hotline. Edward, thanks for holding. Good morning, Edward.
Top of the morning to you all. A-lister, happy International Women's Day.
Oh, thank you so much.
To all those awesome women out there making an impact in our world, so you're part of it. Speaking of losing it all, I'm traversing to Vegas later today, Jeff and JJ, and I'll try to catch some Mountain West games, but I really want to see the A squad. I'll be going to the Pac-12 tournament, so Bruin James, if you're listening, I'll be signing an autograph. If you want my autograph, I'll be at the T-Mobile Arena later tonight, in case you're listening. Real quick on the high school basketball situation. So great, my buddy Grady, from the village of Pecos. The girls had a lead all day yesterday, and then there was a video that showed there was a scramble at the end of the game, and somebody hits a 3. And it was such a great game, and those girls fought hard. But it emphasizes most games are lost and not won. But I didn't have the heart to say it because they're kids, and it happens. By the way, I'm rooting for his son to win a championship. Doesn't the 2A championship get played at like 6:45 a.m. on Saturday?
It's like 8:30 in the morning. Yeah, they got to run a lot of games through there. Yeah,
all year, guys, all year, and having to get up at like 5 in the morning to go play a state championship game.
And you're thrilled to do it,
man.
And you're thrilled to do it.
Figure it out.
Well,
quickly on the NFL quarterback situation. So with the Daniel Jones contract, which initially I was kind of stunned by the numbers, but it reemphasizes what I've been saying for all year and basically last year. Don't overcommit to your quarterback. Give them a 2-year deal, and that's essentially what this is. And JJ's point about, not everybody's Mahomes and not everybody is Burrow, and he's right? So you have to kind of traverse your way through this. But I think it's absolute suicide to commit to more than 2 years or maybe a 3-year deal, because younger guys are coming into the league and they're going to be better than the guy you have within 3 or 4 years. And there's only a select few. By the way, in the NFC, if you can't win the NFC now with the litany of quarterbacks they have in the NFC, all the good ones are in the AFC. So it's going to be interesting how this plays out. Anyway, maybe I'll see you guys at the T-Mobile Arena. And if not, I'll see you at either Hooters or Cheesecake Factory. So have a great day, my friends.
Enjoy. Safe travels. I don't know, man. I don't know that I think tonight the Pac-12 tournament's any better than what I'm going to watch it at the Mountain West. And there's 4 teams I want to see in the Pac-12, maybe 5, JJ, if you include Oregon. I do want to see Arizona and UCLA, and I'm looking forward to seeing Arizona and UCLA. And I do want to see SC and Arizona State, and they're not all, like maybe Friday night. That's what I see, and maybe Oregon. But other than that, man, everything I see at the Mountain West is going to be just as good, if not better, than watching Stanford and Cal and right in Utah.
Yeah, the tournament where if you had to say, all right, you're spending more than one day at, it's the Mountain West.
Who do we have on? Was it Jerry the other day, Jerry Palm? When I said, I got credentials for both. Which one should I hang out more? And almost everybody's the Mountain West. And look, Arizona and UCLA are different. Now, I'm not going to sit here and pretend to tell you San Diego State. In fact, San Diego State played Arizona this year in Maui. Arizona beat them early in the year. But as far as competitive, fun stuff, this is I wouldn't sit here and tell you the Mountain West is taking a back seat to those guys by any means. On the quarterback thing, is this the time to win the NFC? Look, it ain't easy, man. And quarterback's a big deal, and quarterback means a lot. San Francisco's got a good roster. Philadelphia's good. But Jerry Jones and you Cowboy fans, you've got to be sitting around just going, wait a minute now. We got our guy. We paid our quarterback a lot of money. Like theoretically, he's not wrong when he says the NFC's there for the taking. And if you're a Cowboy fan, are you kind of thinking, if not now, when? Because you look at all these great young quarterbacks in the AFC, 2 to 3 years from now, this pendulum's going to shift a little, right? Guys are going to move, and to his point, these young players who are coming into the league, who are getting drafted to NFC teams, are going to become the Joe Burrows and the Lamar Jacksons, the Josh Allens. Like, if you're a Cowboy fan, aren't you sitting around just going, damn, what do we got to do? And if not now, are we ever going to win this thing?
Absolutely. Because they've lost to the 49ers with Jimmy Garoppolo and Brock Purdy.
Yes. Yes. And Brock Purdy. I mean, they didn't lose a trade. Yeah.
That's the thing, too. That's why I'm looking at, one of the Atlanta Falcons. That's the team I have circled. That Lamar Jackson is right there. If you want to make a dent in the NFC right now, the Philadelphia Eagles, Jalen Hurts, that roster, they're good. Kyle Shanahan, the 49ers showed me that they can be competitive. But you're telling me that Lamar Jackson can't compete with those guys? Like, Lamar Jackson couldn't be
I don't think
what
anybody's
Jalen
saying
Hurts
that.
is? No, that's what I'm saying. Like, if right now's the time, man. You're saying, all right, we're going to have to give up some money, guaranteed contract, 2 first-round picks, but then we have a guy that in the NFC right now could be the best or second-best quarterback in the NFC, and over the next 5 years, teams are going to have to be chasing us. That's a franchise-changing move that's on the table that you can put the pressure on Baltimore saying, hey, here's our offer. How much do you really like Lamar? Because we're ready.
Let me throw something at you. And I haven't heard this team say yay or nay, and I haven't heard this team mentioned. And I know that they are up for sale, and so they're probably not going to spend that money. But he's right there in that beltway, right? The Baltimore, D.C. Why not Washington? Would that be something for Eric Bieniemy to work with? Why not the Commanders, who are sitting there with Sam Howell? I know I told you I thought that was the right place for Derek Carr, and I still kind of do. But why wouldn't they be the ones who just go, you know what? He's right freaking there. And if we get that guy, why can't we compete? Like, tell me why. Who's the last good, solid, secure, stable Washington quarterback? We talk about the Browns and all these franchises. I don't know. I mean, what was the last quarterback that they had? Kirk Cousins? What did they have him for 2 years? A year? And he was drafted to back up Robert Griffin III. Why wouldn't they make that move?
And some people have speculated that Snyder, on his way out, could he somehow, some way force his franchise to drop a fully guaranteed contract on Lamar Jackson? I just think there's too much going on that even as they try to move forward and put a team together for them to figure out how to get a quarterback like Lamar Jackson to their franchise?
I don't know, man. I look at a couple places. I've heard San Francisco. I don't think San Francisco drops that kind of guaranteed money. I just don't. And I don't know how they fit under the cap.
The 49ers and Dolphins are out on Lamar Jackson unless it's Lamar Jackson signs with Baltimore and then is traded, because those teams do not have first-round picks this year, which are required if you sign him away as a non-exclusive franchise tag.
Yeah. All right, we'll continue. We're big on the NFL today, and obviously level basketball and what's going on here. I got a bunch of emails on women's basketball, JJ. We're going to talk high school hoops coming up at 9:30. We're going to get out to the pit. Sebastian Noel is the voice of the people from ProView Network. He's there, and we're going to get into that. But who's next now? What's next on the quarterback carousel? Well, they flew across the country to talk to your boy Aaron Rodgers. How realistic are the New York Jets when it comes to making the next move in the quarterback market? Hey, do you know that I know you're listening to radio, right? And we give you a bunch. So we're the other 10%, but 90% of all the information to your brain is through the eyes. The opening drive on these sports animals, I guess, is the other 10%. But what if your eyes don't work well? And at the high altitude, like in Albuquerque, contacts don't work really well. Look, Dr. Stephen Coleman over at Coleman Vision specializes in treating astigmatism with LASIK, and he's done it since 1998. I had a high degree of astigmatism. It's one of the reasons I went to see him. I had my LASIK done 20 years ago, 2003. It still has been life-changing. It still is working for me. It changed everything about what I do. No glasses, no contacts, none of that mess, and I see really well. So his technology that he uses, it's cutting edge, and he's played a significant role in developing and testing it. And the current technology is used here and around the world. It was originated at Sandia Labs. That's why patients come from all over the country to have their LASIK done at Coleman Vision. They know his reputation and the fact that Dr. Coleman's been in private practice specializing in LASIK his entire career. Stephen Coleman's the best. Now, full disclosure, he's a friend, but he became a friend because of what happened, how I met him and what he does. They are amazing. If you're thinking about ditching the glasses, if you're thinking about ditching the contacts, if you're thinking about changing your life for the better, do yourself a favor and find out if you are a candidate for LASIK and go to Coleman Vision. It's colemanvision.com. You can look online and you'll see the amazing testimonials. colemanvision.com, and give a call, make an appointment at 505-821-8880. That's 505-821-8880.
This message is brought to you.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Dream Style Stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream Style Stucco.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot. It's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Derek Carr is a saint. Daniel Jones got his. What about Aaron? What about Aaron Rodgers? Jets are out there. They brought your boy Nathaniel Hackett with them from New York to California. And if anybody can get it done, it's your boy Nate Hack.
Because that sure worked out for the Broncos last year.
Man, oh man, oh man. So there's a lot of smoke here now. Like, there's always been speculation, there's always been stuff, but there's a lot of smoke with them flying everybody out there. To me, there's something to it, and I didn't think there was.
Of course there is. The New York Jets are all in on the pursuit of Aaron Rodgers. They're desperate. They're hungry. They'll take 1-2 years.
Damn right.
Of Aaron Rodgers. Because what are they left with? Zach Wilson or a phone call to Jimmy Garoppolo? Take your shot. If you go hang out with Aaron Rodgers and he says, you know what, I'll give you 2 years, you'll take it.
Of course you will. Now, are we going to go through this next year, and we're going to go through some ayahuasca darkness thing? Well, I don't know if I want to come back for this last year, and let me decide, and let's roll through it. I don't know. All right, so you got that, and then you got Lobos tonight, and I know you want to talk about that at 505-246-0610. Sean, good morning, Sean. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi.
Good morning. First of all, blessings and much appreciation to you guys. I really enjoy you guys every morning.
Thank you.
My question is for myself and for some of these other people who cried and whined all year long that the Lobos were on too late and they couldn't stay up to watch the game. Well, guess what, guys? Now the Lobos aren't on TV tonight. So my question is, can you tell all the Sports Animal fans how we can watch the Lobo game tonight, please? Thank you.
I can do that. Yeah, thank you, Sean. I can do that. And it is easy, and it is gratis. There is no charge. Go to one of two places. Go to the easiest way. Go to the MW, as in mountainwest.com. You click on watch. It's right there. It'll say watch. It says broadcast guide. Click on that, and then click on the New Mexico Wyoming game. You will have a brief 30-second commercial, and then it'll show up on your computer. The other way, if you can't remember that, go to golobos.com. Click up on the top where it says sports. Click on men's basketball. Click on schedule. Scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page where it has this game on March 8th against Wyoming. And on that page, it'll say listen, it'll say game stats, and it will say watch. And all you got to do is click on watch. So you have two options, the MW.com or golobos.com. And JJ, I think the stigma is off streaming now. People, it's some sketchy feed. Look, man, if you watched the John Jones fight the other night, you streamed it on ESPN Plus. If you watch United matches, you stream them on ESPN Plus. The streaming is good quality. It's like watching on TV.
You can watch on your phone. There's an app.
That's the other way.
Free
Yeah.
app.
Yeah.
Free Mountain West app.
Yep,
yeah,
that's
and
the
then
other way.
guys, if the Lobos make to Friday or whoever plays on Friday, it's gonna be on CBS Sports.
Well,
so.
Thursday too.
And
Thursday too. Yeah,
so just get through today.
Yeah. So that's
You
right.
can
You can
listen to games on the radio. That's a cool place.
Yeah, that's
you can
a
do that.
really cool place, actually.
Yeah, but Amory's
Very
Amory's right. You can download the Mountain West app and it's right there.
That's how I
so
was watching
lots
JJ.
for you. Yeah, well, it's really good. And you can listen to Robert and Hunter over on News Radio. Howard, you're up on the Sports Animal. Good morning, Howard.
Good morning, guys. How are you today?
Bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, ready to excel. You know.
Yeah, and you actually endured that extra hour time change there in Vegas, didn't you?
It's only Wednesday, Howie. It's only Wednesday.
What a what a trooper! Hey, sometimes you just wake up in the morning and you realize just how ever fortunate you are because I already have Edwards' autograph, so that's one thing off my bucket list. So I got that taken care of already.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so am I. But anyway, heart out goes out to the Pecos girls. Grady was giving updates, and the only second of the game they're not ahead was the last second, like he said. So that's a tough one, and hopefully the Pecos boys will start their march towards a state championship tonight. I'll be tuning into the Lobos and then trying to find a way to hear Pecos. If anybody can shed light on how I can listen to the Pecos Panthers game tonight, that would be awesome.
Go to the NFHS network so you can watch it. There's a subscription free, but you can go to ProViewNetworks.com and they'll walk you through the NFHS network. I think it's like a $10 fee and you can watch that game.
Nice. Well, that's what I plan on doing. So, tough road ahead of the Lobos tonight, but I believe they've got the coaching, they've got the players, and they've got the heart. And as long as they just take it one game at a time, I think this is a trap game. They really, you mentioned 6 Wyoming players on the NCAA tournament last year, so they're going to have to be on their A game, but then again, they're going to have to be on their A game all week. So let's go, Lobos. Good luck to you. Later, guys.
All right, Howie, thanks. By the way, I was out there yesterday at the pit, and Adrian and that ProView Networks crew that's producing for the NFHS network, JJ, and I know you've been part of this in the past for the state tournament. The amount of game they're doing every game. They do every game, boys and girls, all the locations. The amount of work, the quality of work they do is pretty amazing. And I was fortunate enough, I got to call a game on Saturday in the state tournament last week. It's fun. It's great. The excitement. It's truly one of the best events in our state every year. I was with some coaches, another group from the state of Indiana last night. We're talking about high school basketball tournaments, and they said attendance-wise, this is as good as Indiana gets. Like they're a little bit different, but Indiana's always kind of the standard for state basketball tournaments, but New Mexico's right on par with that. It's pretty special.
It's an awesome event, especially when you get to these times when you're going to the pit or the Rio Rancho Event Center. Games that, I don't know, they play them Bernalillo High School still. Like every venue you get to for events, it's fantastic.
Yeah. He said something about that Pecos girls game, by the way. They trailed at Pecos for 1 second of that game, and it was the one that mattered. You can kind of understand that. Lobo women trailed for 48 seconds of their game on Monday, and it was the final 48, and they lose by 1 point.
Yeah, it's tough. When you feel like you've done everything needed to win a game, and you look up and you're like, oh, we just lost this by a point.
Yeah, how on earth did that happen? Yeah. So, all right, if you want to keep coming in on Lobo basketball, do. I got a bunch of texts. I got to get them to you. You're getting me a ton of emails as well. Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com, JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. The text line is the same as the 377 Brewery hotline. It's 505-246-0610, so you can send stuff there, and we will get all that to you. So who punched their ticket last night? Who was in? And why did one team win their conference tournament and they don't get to go to the big dance? What on earth is that? We'll get into that when we return. I want you to think about your vehicle, and maybe you're in it right now, right? And what it went through during the winter, what it's still going through with all this weather. You drove through all the slush and the snow and the mud, and you got hard water spots on the windows, the inside of your vehicles. It's disgusting. I got it. Mine is too. We don't have time, right? You don't have time to clean it. You don't want to clean it. And by the way, you can't do as good of a job as On the Spot Automotive Detailing. As good as you are, they're the best. Detailing, what does that mean? Detailing your vehicle. That means inside, outside, under the hood, around the rims, under the seats, everything. Like that. This is what the auto dealers do when they're done. It'll look and smell and feel like the day you took it off the lot. They come to you to do that. You don't go to them. Wherever and whenever it's convenient, that's when they do it. They come to you. Get this done. Protect your vehicle. It's an investment, and one of the biggest investments you have. Protect it, because you're going to have it for a while. Ask them about ceramic coating, which is the best way to protect your paint for years to come. They offer up to a lifetime warranty, and it starts at $250. 10% discount for our military. On the Spot Automotive Detailing. They are legit. In fact, they're way better than legit. They're the best. Give them a call at 505-859-2859, 505-859-2859, or online at otsdetailing.com.
Too strong. It's going to be a rebound there by Brown. Brown gets it in. Bucket there by Alter.
Crossover for Jackson. Salas steals the rebound and finds a cutting Mitchell at the rim.
Great move.
It's almost even in the foul territory, and the Cueva looking to take advantage. Said Yates draws the foul, and one opportunity is said, gives the muscles down.
And it's 11-4, 38. Another turnover by Rio Grande. Montoya off the glass, up and in, back-to-back layups for the Demons.
Stolen away again by Valdez. Valdez is going to bring it out.
Valdez has to have around 3 or 4 steals. 3 by Mays.
Bingo! That one rattles in for Alyssa Mays, and the All-District Player of the Year has 12.
Penetrates, no foul called. Rodriguez lines one up and knocks down the 3. First basket of the night.
It out.
Look at this deep 3.
Wow! That was from NBA range.
What a steal. Stevison 2-on-1. Gets up. Gets it in.
He doesn't use it. Comes back out to Dominguez, who takes the 3. Boom! There's that man, Superman.
Turns, shoots off. Oh,
Wow.
he made that.
Wow. That was crazy. That was a crazy shot.
body on him. Now he got open.
Open look for a three, and that's what he does. A three for Denaclaw. His first bucket of the game. And that's a three, and it'll count at the buzzer.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
Sports Animal. Boy, there's a lot of noise, a lot of smoke. Aaron Rodgers to the Jets. I don't know. The GM, the coach, Nate Hack, all flying across the country to go see Aaron Rodgers. What kind of dinner do they take him to, right? I mean, how does that go? So they no, honestly, how does that play? I mean, like where do you want to go, Aaron? Do they have something? Do they just sit around? Where do you? First of all, you can't go anywhere in L.A. That they're not going to go, well, that's Aaron Rodgers, or wherever they are in California. He might be in Northern California. But when you're that dude, you can't just go into Herbs and Rye or go into a steakhouse and whatever. Like, no, honestly, how does that play out? When Derek Carr was in New York, I guess you could kind of hide Derek Carr, right?
I think people are going to know regardless, though, that they're meeting with the teams.
Well, and then there's boom, boom, there's snapshots and there's Twitter. Here's where they are. Here's Nathaniel Hackett. Oh, he was sitting across the table so Eric can see him. Oh, he was sitting next to him so they could slap backs on each other. Like,
well,
I mean,
there's a lot of places, I'm sure, in California that once you get inside, there's plenty of celebrities that go eat places that they're like, yeah, we're not letting people with cameras into the building.
Well, everybody's got a camera.
Also in New York, it's way different because I've lived in L.A. and New York. People don't care in New York. People care in L.A. I'm telling you.
That's right.
It's a whole different thing. Like, it's just totally. Place to experience it. Like, no one cares in New York. In L.A., they care.
I'm sure Aaron Rodgers, they'll have it catered at his place, and they'll be eating.
They'll be like sitting on pillows on the ground, you know.
So honestly, how does this go? Right? When Derek Carr, and this is the difference, man. Derek, you got to come see us. Derek, come on in. We'll take you out in New York. Aaron, can we come see you? And they fly him all across the country to go see it. I mean, does this show you the difference? There's Derek Carr. All right, come on in. We'll entertain you for a couple of days.
He might get there in 7 years.
Derek Carr?
Yeah, why not? He's
Maybe.
What is he, like 6 years younger than Aaron Rodgers?
Yes, but he's just not that guy. I mean, he's not as good.
He might win a ring in those years.
Yeah, but even if he wins a ring, do you think he'll be as good as Aaron Rodgers?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Isn't
he
the
might
ring
be.
important?
Totally important.
Yeah.
No,
and
but
Aaron
I
Rodgers
mean,
has
never
one.
going to be as good a quarterback as Aaron
Of course he's not going to be, but I'm just saying rings matter. Anyways,
Yeah.
my whole point is they're always going to be treated differently. You're right.
Yeah.
Him, Tom Brady, all those, that little era. Yeah, those guys. Yeah.
I always just wondered, though, I mean, like, there's recruiting, right? And we, you know, those of you who have been recruited or do recruiting, right, there's a protocol to it. You go around it. But then there's different levels, right? And we're watching this play out. And I don't care if you're being recruited to play college softball or you're being recruited to be the quarterback for the New York Jets, right? So there's kind of a way this goes. But how does this one? I kind of want to see it. I kind of want to know how this plays out. Like, does it go? Who was it? Was it JJ? There was a video out. Was it DeAndre Jordan when he was with the Clippers, and he kind of remember he was going to sign with the Mavericks, and he said all his guys showed up. The Clippers, they showed up at his house, and they had an intervention, and they talked him out of it, right? And I want to say there was a video of that. Maybe I'm hallucinating, but
no, there was a photo. They were joking like they blocked the door. They put a chair in front of the door.
Yeah.
So DeAndre Jordan couldn't leave. And I remember when we thought DeAndre Jordan was that important player in the NBA. Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
Right? Isn't that crazy? And now he couldn't be more irrelevant. But this whole thing, how does it go, man? We're flying across the country. Hey, Aaron, we're coming. You cool? Do you have time? I mean, maybe. You know, I'll try to make some time. I don't know. I'm going to go sit in the dark for a while today. All right. Well, we come. Do you go by his house? Do you pick him up and have him come to the hotel?
Like if you're courting one of these guys,
yeah.
Like just chill for a little bit, sit back, have the conversation. How you feeling? What can we do? What do you want to do?
You know how they say,
I'm a franchise making a move like this. I want to spend some time just sitting back, having a conversation.
You know how they say don't come empty-handed? Like, what do you bring to Aaron Rodgers' house for one of these? You bring a bottle of bourbon? Ayahuasca? What do you bring? It's the opening drive from Vegas and Burke on 95.9 FM at AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about. We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others. And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, whether you're ready or not, they're playing tonight. 5 o'clock Mountain Time over on News Radio KKOB. Lobos Open Up Conference Tournament play. 6th seed New Mexico, 11th seed Wyoming over at the Thomas and Mack Center. Good morning to you. Thanks for being with us this morning on the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, and A. Marie. It's 505-246-0610 if you want to play radio with us and get in today. Make your shot. You nervous? You nervous, Lobo fan? Because you kind of feel a little nervous to me, and I understand it. And JJ, there's a nervous confidence among Lobo fan about tonight. This is the game that I think probably many of you are on your way in today, right? Probably there's a bunch of you on the way to the airport right now. The flights were full. A bunch of Lobo fans on our flight coming out yesterday. The plane was packed. Woof, woof, woof gear everywhere. And it was that cautious optimism, like I think we're going to get to Friday and maybe Saturday, but it's kind of what you're feeling?
I think there's the reality of the conversation that this is not a guarantee just based on the roller coaster ride for the Lobos, but I'd be more confident than nervous today against Wyoming.
Okay.
In this game.
I think so too. I mean, look, we could sit here tomorrow morning and just go, what the hell happened? And it's going to be uncomfortable tomorrow morning if that's, in fact, what goes down, right? If they get beat tonight, it's going to be a little uncomfortable tomorrow. And you're going to say, should they even be in the
entire
NIT?
Week for Lobo fans of what the heck are we doing in Las Vegas? If both teams go one and done, you just have the entire fan base like, well, now I guess we go gamble and waste our money at the casinos. Yeehaw!
Yeah, when can I get a tea time and where? Yeah, no, 100%. Find me a good restaurant where the locals go.
It is the worst feeling to be one and done, and then immediately right after the game, you're on that Southwest app like, all right, when's the soonest flight I can get back to Albuquerque? Like, that is the worst.
I mean, that's not the worst place to get stuck in, though.
No,
That's why they do it here.
It's not a bad place to get stuck, but when you're, for basketball week and you're like, oh, this is the Mecca, and we're here for college basketball, and then you're one and done, you're just like, oh.
So, A-Marie, the way it used to be, and it's still this way, it's just digitally, right? But you after a game, so a Thursday game, let's just say tomorrow, and let's say the Lobos beat Utah State. and you're looking for a game for Friday, instead of buying that strip of tickets, you're out finding Utah State fan, and they're all standing right there by the Tark statue in front of the Thomas and Mack Center. You know where it is, JJ, right? And everybody's, the Utah State fans are selling tickets, and you're just looking for a dude wearing the team's colors that you just beat and trying to buy his tickets for tomorrow. And he's trying to dump them because he doesn't want anything to do with it. And to your point, everywhere is worse to be stuck than here, right? There's a ton of things to do here, and you can do whatever you want. But, yeah, it's a bummer when you come, and that's what it's all about. And it would be that way if we, in fact, get there tomorrow. I think they win tonight. I do think the Lobos win tonight. We're here in Vegas. JJ was here earlier in the week, and it's good. I mean, gosh, we've been here. I mean, outside the COVID year, JJ, we've been here, I mean, every year for the last, I want to say 12, 13, 14, 15 years. I want to say thank you to New Mexico Look, the best in New Mexico souvenirs and team apparel, for making sure we're here. Them along with California Closets, custom closets, systems and solutions for the whole home. Coleman Vision, perfect game. And Rich Ford, celebrating 62 years at the corner of Lomas and Wyoming Northeast. They are the reasons that we get to come here. Also here in town, the West Coast Conference wrapped up yesterday. I told you I say don't count out Gonzaga. And James sent me this note on Gonzaga, JJ. He said Gonzaga's like Lucy with the football. How many brackets do you have to get burned in before people quit picking them to make a deep run every year? I don't know. They haven't won it, but they make a pretty deep run every year. I don't know what's a deep run. I mean, do you have to get to Final Four? Well, they've been there a couple times, haven't they? Like, what's a deep run? They're not a joke. They haven't won the championship, JJ. And I know we talk all the time about getting that ring, and so that gets you over the top. Do they have to win a championship to be legit? Because I don't think so.
That is the falsest narrative ever. Like, if you're picking him to win the championship, all right, yeah, you busted a couple brackets. But you look at the last few years.
Yeah.
This is at least Sweet 16 Elite 8 team. They
Two
lost
Final
in the
Fours?
national championship game 2 years ago. So what are
Right.
you getting burned on?
And
You're just
Baylor
picking him to win the championship. Yes.
Yeah, Baylor pumped them in that championship game. And it was like, well, okay, but look who they got through that year, including UCLA, to get to the national championship game. Like, they are legit. And I mean, do they bust your brackets? To JJ's point, yeah, if you're picking them to win it all, okay. But, dude, they make a run every year. There's no little cute school in Spokane anymore about them. They are a legit national power. Unless your definition of a national power is they have to have won a national championship. But, and then when? Like, recently?
So they've
Indiana
lost in 2 title games.
Yes.
And they've been to the Sweet 16, at least the Sweet 16 every year since 2015.
All right. So am I wrong? Is that not a legit, powerful program? They didn't win a championship. When was the last time Indiana won a championship? 80s? When was the last time UCLA won a championship? I think it was 95, right? I mean, we talk about all these powerful stud schools.
Picking Gonzaga to win, okay, they've been busting your bracket, but that's a team that it's guaranteed 2 wins at least every time in the NCAA tournament.
Man, and they look good yesterday. All right, I told you earlier about a team that won their conference tournament, and they are not going to the NCAA tournament. And I hate this rule. I just don't get it. It's been explained to me a number of times, and it still doesn't make any sense to me. Merrimack won their conference tournament. They beat Fairleigh Dickinson yesterday. But Fairleigh Dickinson will go to the NCAA tournament. This is much like Bellarmine in the ASUN last year, because Merrimack is still transitioning to Division I, and it's a 4-year window. This was we watched it in college football this year, JJ. It was Stigler School, James Madison, right? They were, I want to say, 8-3, well better than bowl eligible. And they're transitioning, and they didn't get to go to a bowl game. So Rice went at 5-6. I don't understand it. I don't understand the advantages. I don't understand the point, and how you're supposed to get them as they ramp up their scholarships and they ramp up their talent level and how they're supposed to, and obviously some schools are bucking this trend, recruit to the caliber of their league when you're telling them that they cannot go to the big dance. There's no postseason for them. Even when they were Division II, they could go to the Division II playoffs and play for a championship, right? Here, a team in Merrimack, I'm pretty sure they won the league regular season and the conference tournament, and Fairleigh Dickinson gets to go. It's beyond me, and I've heard everybody losing their mind over it, and just like last year, I don't know that anything's going to change at the NCAA. Why is this? Because it's been explained to me, and I still don't understand.
It can be explained, and it still makes no sense. There's zero sense behind not allowing a team that's successful to be eligible for the postseason. Like, who is it protecting? It's only hurting teams. Like, if you're not good transitioning, how does not being eligible for the postseason help you or give you some sort of benefit? It does nothing. It just, what it does is it protects the teams that are there from losing to first-year programs. And if you lose to a first-year Division I program, that's on you. And you should be penalized for losing that game, and they should not be penalized for beating you.
Typically, the reason teams are moving up to Division I is because they've been pretty successful where they were, right? So there's usually some sort of a base there. There's a history. There's a tradition, and so they move up. Look, this doesn't happen all the time, but it's happened now twice in 2 years, and it's stupid. I would also argue with you that it's not doing the league any good, right? To have your best team not being able to advance. We talked yesterday about the units, the NCAA units, the tournament units, and how much they're worth to the league. And look, what are the odds Merrimack or Bellarmine last year or Fairleigh Dickinson are going to advance? Not great, but we see it every year, don't we? We see somebody from a conference that you don't watch one game of all year, whether it's Belmont or UMBC or whoever it is, right? And it's Nate Odom, or what's the coach at Ryan Odom, the coach at Utah State, right? He was the guy at UMBC.
Yeah,
that was the team that beat Virginia, the only time a 16's beaten a 1. It happens all the time. And so you're talking about units and money for all these teams. It's just bonkers to me that I'm the best team in the league, but I can't advance because why? Because it takes 4 years to transition. Look, it's been explained to me a number of times. It's just such a disservice it feels to that league. So, but whatever, it is what it is. All right, when we come back, so we're going to talk a little women's basketball. A little women are done. At least they're done until the NIT selection comes out, and we think they're going to play again. JJ, I got a number of correspondence on what happens next, and you're a lot closer to it than I am, but I want your response to some of what I'm gonna get to you from our listeners at 505-246-0610 or on the emails, Jeff@sportsaudiblebq.com, JJ@sportsaudiblebq.com. That's coming up when we come back. International Protective Service watches my home. IPS. I know you've seen their vehicles because they're all around town. They're everywhere. Why? Because, well, they're really good. It's private security, and it's affordable private security because the bad guys' numbers are on the increase, the good guys' numbers are on the decrease. And so Aaron Jones started this company to provide private security for homes and businesses up in Fort Hills 16, 17 years ago. Now hundreds of homeowners and business owners around Albuquerque trust Aaron and IPS to protect what they've worked so hard to build. Look, you've worked hard. Protect your home, your business, your family. Aaron's from Albuquerque, passionate about making Albuquerque a better and a safer place to live and work. They watch your home, they watch your business with highly trained armed guards or 24-hour patrols. Give them a call, see what they can do for you. I trusted them for years, and they give my family and my neighbors peace of mind. 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420 or online at ipsglobal.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For your business or your home, Valley Fair.
I'm reminded, JJ, via the text line that Lobos howl, they do not woof. Got it. Thank you, Don.
Okay, what about our cheer though? Everyone's Lobo, woof, woof, woof.
Look, we went. So this was this predates you a little bit, but there is a T-shirt that Don and a bunch of people put out that they despise the woof, woof, woof with the little finger wolf thing.
Yeah,
and so there was a push a while back because, I mean, there's plenty to make fun about with woof, woof, woof.
Oh
and,
my gosh.
So there was a big thing that Lobos howl. We don't woof, is what I was told.
That chair's never gone away since I was 5 years old. So
No. But then I go to every game and I hear everyone's a Lobo, woof, woof, woof. And it'll be in the Thomas and Mack Center today. And Wyoming fans are going to look over, they're going to laugh, and then they're going to do their beer song. You ever heard the Wyoming beer song, by the way?
No.
Oh, that's terrific. You can Google that one as well, or YouTube that. I believe the words. Well, I don't believe because I know. It's that dun, 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 that tune. In heaven there is no beer, no beer. That's why we drink it here, right here. And when we're gone from here, our friends will be drinking all our beer. And yeah, that's their thing. I was also got one on the text line. JJ, it says, why wouldn't the meal? So we're talking about the jets flying across the country, and where do you meet Aaron Rodgers? How does that go? Why wouldn't they get it catered in? Why wouldn't the meal include Rodgers and Jets management getting catered at someone's house in L.A.? I'm sure Domino's would happily provide many pizzas. Imagine the tip the delivery guy would get from dear old Aaron. I mean, I don't know how that goes. I honestly, I don't, but I'm interested. All right, 505-246-0610. So Jay, the ladies go out, and what's next? What's next for the Lady Lobos? That's what Bruce wants to know. He says if the core is going to be gone, and it's going to be Augman, Ruiz, and Cumber. I don't see a lot of size there. You notice UNLV and Wyoming, who are in the finals, both have a legit presence. What's next for the Lady Lobos? I got another one, basically calling for Bradbury's head, that he's never won the championship here, and where's the program? And look, it's an arguable regular season. They've been pretty good. JJ, is that program peaked, or do you see it getting better with the talent coming in?
I think it's fair to ask the question: have they even peaked? When you're 3-7 in the Mountain West tournament, you haven't played in a title game, and you've had years where you're the number 1 seed, you're the number 2 seed. You haven't been playing on Wednesday.
You got Lady Lobo fan who remembers the Flanagan years, and look, that was 15 years ago now. Even with Yvonne, you got to the championship game, right? And it's kind of like Lobo men's fan, right? I mean, they remember. Let's be real. The peak moments in this program have been in this city, correct? Have been in Vegas, when you're cutting down nets, when you're winning conference tournaments. There hasn't been a whole lot of NCAA tournament success in the history of this program. I mean, we've talked about it forever, that they've never been to the Final Four on the men's side. They have been on the ladies' side. And so I would argue with you that in some respects, the highlight of many Lobo fans' basketball year is this week. And so many, the reputation was built on Pitt West and bringing all these fans and kind of taking over the Thomas and Mack. And I wonder, and we'll find out a little bit over the next few days, and hopefully Lobos get to Thursday and Friday, we find out. But JJ, how much of that is just myth and ancient history, and how much of it is still reality? Because this is the week Lobo basketball fan, these fans take time off. They put in their PTO. They make their trip. This is one of the big trips of the year for Lobo basketball fan.
Expectations are always set with what happened in the past. And for Lobo women's basketball, I do not think it is unfair to think this team, should be competing top 3 in the Mountain West Conference. They finished a game out of second place, and they were the 4 seed based on tiebreakers.
Mhm.
So they weren't far off preseason expectations when they were picked second. But when you go to these other arenas, like Wyoming, Colorado State, they've established a nice groundwork, as has Boise State. The Lobos are right there. And if you look at the records, the games they've lost in the Mountain West tournament, I think they're in a fair place, but wanting more when it comes to Las Vegas than what we've seen over the last 7 years is absolutely fair. Because you look at this team, 3-7 in Las Vegas. Because they're recruiting wise, the support facilities, like he's doing something special. And Lindsay LaRock, this might be her last year. I have no idea because she's going to get a lot of offers. But New Mexico should constantly be in that mix. And I got nothing to say, but I understand the frustration.
Yeah.
For the tournament performance.
Yeah, it's there from Lobo basketball fan, women, and I'm just going to tell you, man, I hope we're not dealing with it tomorrow on the men's side, because I think if they get beat today, we're gonna there's going to be people I think who are going to just question, and I think it'll be in the moment, it'll be frustration in the moment. What happens? What was this year all about? But yeah, and I don't know if you took a look at Speak Up today, but there were a lot of people calling for Bradbury's head, and I just don't know what's realistic, and can they should they win? Should they be in the finals every 3-4 years in this tournament? I don't think that's wrong. I don't think that's something realistic. Is it a different time now than it was when Don Flanagan was running that program? It is, but he set the expectations for this program, and certainly the two coaches since haven't been able to get there. And does that mean that Mike should be gone? Look, he's got a pretty solid program, JJ. He's got a pretty solid program. It feels like people are still going. Feels like people still care. Feels like people still want to play for him. But yeah, and I think he'll tell you they got to figure out a way to get things done in the tournament. They had a heartbreaker, man. That ball rolls off the rim the other way, and you advance. Now, were you going to get through UNLV? Probably not. But the program's not in shambles. I will tell you that. Is it where many fans want? That's a whole nother conversation. The Pitt's active today. The Pitt's active tomorrow. We're going to talk high school basketball tournament because it is a big, big, big deal. The voice of the people, Sebastian Noel from ProView Networks, and you'll hear him all over the NFHS network. He's going to be with us next. We'll get a kind of a lowdown on what's going on down there. Great games yesterday on the girls' side and a big slate today. So that's coming up when we return, and how you can see them and which games, if you want to go to one, and I know so many of you do, which one should you go and make plans to go see? We'll talk to them about that. Tell you about John Thomas Jewelers because they're the best jeweler I've seen, period. Like they're terrific. I walked in, met John. He showed me the facility, showed me how things work, and I was so insanely impressed by not just the showroom floor, but went in the back and where they make their custom jewelry, where they do their jewelry repair. That's why they do more custom jewelry in a week than most jewelers do in a year, and it's affordable. Like, if you can dream it, they can make it. But why is it affordable, and way more affordable than you think? Because they do it here, and they do it insanely well. They're the only 5-star Google-rated jeweler in the state. They've been voted best jeweler in Albuquerque for years. They're the only store in Albuquerque that travels to Antwerp. That's the diamond capital of the world, where they hand-select their diamonds. So when you're ready to buy that engagement ring, when you're ready to make her your wife, don't just go buy something out of some mall jewelry store rack. Go there and build this. You'll love the process, and she will love the product. There's no place like this. It is John Thomas Jeweler. They are my jeweler. It's johnthomasjewelers.com. They're right across from the Coronado Mall, just to the east. 3rd floor, Lewis University building on Louisiana, 1 block south of Manal. If you can dream it, John Thomas Jewelers can make it.
too strong. It's going to be a rebound there by Brown. Brown gets it in. Bucket there by Alter.
Crossover for Jackson. Salas steals the rebound and finds a cutting Mitchell at the rim.
Great move.
It's almost even in the foul territory, and Cueva looking to take advantage. Said Yates draws the foul, and one opportunity is said, gives the muscles down.
And it's 11-4, 38. Another turnover by Rio Grande. Montoya off the glass, up and in, back-to-back layups for the Demons.
Oh, was stolen away again by Valdez. Valdez is going to bring it out.
Valdez has to have around 3 or 4 steals. 3 by Mays.
Bingo! That one rattles in for Alyssa Mays, and the All-District Player of the Year has 12.
Penetrates, no foul called. Rodriguez lines one up and knocks down the 3. First basket of the night.
Has to back it out.
Look at this deep 3.
Wow! That was from NBA range.
What a steal. Stevison 2-on-1, gets up, gets it in.
He doesn't use it, comes back out to Dominguez, who takes the 3. Boom! There's that man, Superman.
Turns, shoots off. Oh,
Wow.
he made that.
Wow. That was crazy. That was a crazy shot.
Has everybody on him. Now he got open.
Open look for a 3, and that's what he does. A 3 for Dennerclaw. His first bucket of the game. And that's a 3, and it'll count at the buzzer.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit.
Going through state tournament in one of the most special places in period, and that's the pit. Stopped by yesterday, got to watch some of the girls' state tournament. ProView Networks is producing for the NFHS network and doing games, and every single game, there's 3 venues and I think 24 games yesterday. And so let's catch up. What should you see? What are you missing out? Who should you see? How can you see it? Let's check in with the voice of the people. He's our good friend from ProView Network. Sebastian Noel joins us this morning on The Sports Animal. Good to see you yesterday. Good morning, sir. How you doing?
Yeah, good. Good morning. It was good to see you yesterday.
You got some good games, man. I love the vibe in the pit. It was midday on a Tuesday, and there's something special about what goes on in these tournaments.
Yeah, yeah, you put it perfectly, Jeff. You know, the way it kind of ramps up through the day. You know, I've always had that 8 a.m. game on the first day, so watching the crowd slowly ramp up, and then usually by that midpoint of the day, by the time either a Gallup or a Farmington or someone like that plays, you look down and you're like, wow, this is pretty cool.
What was I saw a good ending to that Los Alamos Pius game yesterday. I saw, you had upsets, you had chalk, you had overtime. What was the best one that you had yesterday?
Well, I mean, I'm gonna have to go with the best one I watched, and that was definitely the nightcap, and that was that Las Cruces upset of Farmington. You know, that Farmington team, that 2 seed, they have the 3 Anatialu sisters. You know, everyone thought maybe they could give Hobbs a run for the money, but Las Cruces is tough. They got 2 really good players, in Emma Cristiano and Lila Ishida. They're really well coached. Coach Selby does a great job, and they took Farmington to overtime, and they beat them, and it was pretty. That was definitely the game of the day.
Did you do the Pecos game early, the one that ended at the end, and Pecos was down for just 1 second, and it would happen to be the final second of the game?
No, I did not. I think that was at the Star Center or at the Rio Rancho.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. All right. So, in JJ, are you going to go out at all? Are you going to get out there?
It's a plan.
Yeah. No.
I'm back in Albuquerque. I got time to catch games now.
I guess you do. All right, what should we watch today? So there's someone sitting in their car, sitting at their desk, going, you know what? I want to go watch some games today. What are the best matchups today?
No, all day. Come on. Just go all day and hang out. I mean, if you're going to skip work, skip it all day. I mean, we already had an upset in the morning. Hope Christian defeated St. Pius. That one just wrapped up.
Is that right?
And we talked. You and I talked a lot of 4A, and you know, I think I've been beating that drum most of the season that it was Academy and Highland. That was the foregone conclusion. But man, Hope Christian's playing really tough right now. They are peaking at the right time. Obviously, Coach Murphy knows what he's doing.
Well, he's a wizard, right? When it comes,
just unbelievable. So look out for the Huskies.
It comes this time of year, and there's some coaches who just know what they're doing. And you look at Coach Murphy, and look, Hope Christian was a 6 seed. Pius had some size, but I saw Hope play earlier this year. I saw them take Academy down to a 3-point game. I think they're nice.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're going to be. They'll have something to say about this tournament. I mean, doesn't mean we're not going to get Highland and Academy, but the Huskies will be the toughest out the rest of the way. West Mesa and Oregon Mountain are just about to tip in about 10 minutes, and then you have Academy and the 8 seed Deming at 11:30, Los Lunas, and then the 11 seed La Cueva at 1:15. So that'll be interesting if La Cueva can. You know, you typically don't think of La Cueva as a Cinderella, but they certainly would be in this tournament. I'm looking forward to Artesia and Valley. Valley's the 12 seed. I think they're gonna win that game at 3:00. So I think Valley could make a Final Four appearance. And then my first game of the day will be Sandia and Cleveland. I think that's probably, if I'm just looking at it, that looks like the best matchup of the day.
Sebastian Noel, voice of the people's, with us on the Sports Animal this morning.
Well, Sebastian, you mentioned that matchup in boys 5A, Cleveland and Sandia. What stands out about the individual matchups? 'Cause I know the Cleveland Storm, kind of for the average Joe fan, they always expect Cleveland to be really good. They're a 7 seed. What do you see in that matchup?
Well, they have a really good superstar player in Daniel Steverson. Daniel missed one of their 2 matchups against Sandia earlier in the season, so that was a complete blowout in the APS Metro tournament. When Daniel did play, Sandia still beat him, but it was a much more competitive game, and I think Cleveland's been playing well. Sandia, they got 5 starters in double figures. They love to play fast up and down. They're not very deep, so I want to see, conditioning-wise, if they can do what Sandia does on the pit floor, because really their strategy is always, you're going to get tired in the fourth quarter against us, and we're going to beat you. See if that strategy can work today against Cleveland.
You look at, you mentioned La Cueva, Los Lunas, and La Cueva kind of similarly being an 11 seed. And what is the Bears right now versus Los Lunas in that matchup?
Well, I think La Cueva has a chance in that game, JJ, because, well, one, they're talented, right? When you have a guy like Fed Yates and JoJo Gilliford and Cam Dyer, Denniclaw can shoot the 3. Talent has not been an issue with La Cueva. It's been chemistry and putting it together that's been an issue this season. And with Los Lunas, Coach Julian loves to play pretty slow, really likes to put the handcuffs on a game. So if he takes all the pace out of that game and keeps it close, La Cueva could steal that game. Los Lunas, on paper, you think they got to win that game. They have the best player in the state in Jalen Holland on the court. But Coach Julian's style doesn't always lend to athletes just going to make plays. So I think that's going to be a tight game. I wouldn't be surprised if that goes either way.
Do you have a favorite game out of Rio Rancho today? I know you're going to be at the Pit, but do you look at like Crown Point Sandia Prep in a 3A game this afternoon? Is there a game out there if people are on that side of the river and say, I can't get to the Pit, but I want to go to a game out here?
Well, I think Navajo Prep plays this morning, or in the afternoon. I got to double check the schedule, but they're really good. That Sandia Prep Crown Point game, Sandia Prep's interesting team to watch because they don't have any guards. I mean, it's literally 5 forward.
Yeah.
So when they play a team that doesn't have a lot of size, they kind of impose their will. Sandia Prep is a very strange team to watch. And then, of course, Bernalillo's got the small schools. I mean, so if you really want to check out a quote unquote storyline, go watch Magdalena. They're undefeated. They're pounding teams, right? So you have a chance to look at them at Bernalillo.
Navajo Prep plays Santa Fe Indian School tonight, 8:15 out at Rio Rancho. Okay, the other thing I noticed was there's a lot of college coaches there, and in-state and RMAC coaches walking around these gyms, walking around these arenas, and they're scouting. And how important do you feel? I know you talked to them, and I spent some time talking to a number of coaches in the pit yesterday. Make or break time for guys, girls? Are there a lot of scholarships and a lot of careers extended by the way these young men and women play in the state tournament?
I mean, yeah, you talked about the RMAC coaches, right? Their season just wrapped up. They're just finishing up, player evaluation, seeing who's going to transfer in, who's going to transfer out, moving scholarship dollars around. I mean, it's life in the RMAC, right? So there's definitely 1 or 2 scholarships to be awarded or 1 or 2 roster spots available. And especially on the girls' side, the RMAC is a hotbed of New Mexico talent. So, yeah, this tournament's important. Leilani Love, who was just named the Gatorade Player of the Year this morning, the Albuquerque High player. She's going to CSU Pueblo. That's in the RMAC. So, yeah, there's definitely roster spots still available with the coaches that are there. They're not just there to hang out.
Yeah, no, you can see them really evaluate. Just a few more minutes. Sebastian Noel from ProView Networks is with us on the opening drive.
Well, with that, Sebastian, if we wrap up on some girls' action, what do you like that stands out to you on the girls' side that, this is going to be must-see action?
Well, I think La Cueva is a team to watch now the rest of the way. They are peaking. That, obviously with Farmington eliminated now, that certainly opens up Volcano Vista side of the bracket. Volcano Vista looked very good defensively again yesterday. Offensively, I think still not, right where they need to be. But I think we just, we're so spoiled. We expect perfection from Volcano Vista. So I think maybe that's more our fault than anything else. But now with that Hobbs-La Cueva matchup, I wouldn't be surprised if La Cueva pulled out the victory there. That'll be at 9:45 tomorrow. And then Volcano Vista and Las Cruces, again, with Farmington out, Volcano Vista, they'll be a heavy favorite against Las Cruces. So we might, again, stop me if you've heard this before, JJ. We might get Hobbs, Volcano Vista in the final, but I think La Cueva's going to have something to say about it.
Biggest crowd today. What are we going to see?
Ooh, man. At the pit, I would say biggest crowd today, I guess, I'll have to go with the night game there at Trisco and Volcano Vista at 8:15.
I think that's right.
Sandia and Cleveland will be close, but that's right around as people are getting off work. So definitely I have to go with the night game, and I'll have that on the NFHS network, Volcano and Trisco.
All right. If you can't make it out, let people know how they can watch these games because you guys are doing a heck of a job. Kudos to you and that crew over there. You're spread thin. You're spread all over the place and making sure you get them all covered.
Yeah, just head on over to the NFHSnetwork.com, type in any school name, or you could type in NMAA, and that'll bring up an entire list of all the games. So, yeah, wherever we're at today, whether that be out in Rio Rancho, like you said, out at Bernalillo, or our games at the pit, we'll have those on the NFHS network.
It's one of our state's best events. It's annual, and it's going on right now at the pit, at Rio Rancho Event Center, and at Bernalillo High School. It's the state high school basketball tournament. Continues today, wraps up on Saturday. I'll see you out there on Saturday. But continued great work. Good seeing you and the crew yesterday.
JJ usually makes an appearance. JJ's big time, so he usually makes an appearance Saturday night at the big game, right? He stops by and says hello. Yeah, no Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday appearances. I've never ran into JJ earlier in the week, but Saturday night, I know he's making an appearance.
That's big time for big time. You just know me. I'm just common folk, man, and I'm good being common folk. I just like coming to the regular games. But know,
Well, we
I'll
get
try
out
to
with
make.
the people, right? We get out with the people, Jeff. That's how you
what
get a
I'm saying.
reputation, right?
I don't need a reputation. Be well. Continue doing what you're doing, and we'll catch up with you this week. He is Sebastian Noel. All right, are you going to those games? If you've been out there, I'd love to hear your thoughts on just going out and good stuff and good action, and it's fun. All right, as we wrap this thing up, JJ, how will the Lobos beat Wyoming? Will they beat Wyoming? And how they're going to get it done. It's this afternoon. We'll talk about that from Vegas and Albuquerque on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky.
What about JJ? It's if it's 10, 11, 12, about 7 hours away. Feeling it? 7 hours to game time. Oh, there's the hype music. See? There's the hype music. Lobos and Wyoming, first round conference tournament, Mountain West tournament here in Vegas. It's today over on News Radio KKOB, 4:30 pregame, 5 o'clock tip-off from the Thomas and Mack Center. Robert Portnoy and Hunter Green will have it for you. Again, if you're looking to watch it, it's not going to be on CBS Sportsnet, and it will not be on FS1. The rest of the days of the tournament, tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, all the games are on CBS Sportsnet. This is on the MW.com. Go to Lobos.com, or you can download the Mountain West app and you can watch it there. All right, so how do they win this game, JJ? Is it let Maldonado eat and stop at Odom and everybody else and Wenzel? Is it get out early? Because to me, it's Maldonado's going to get his. Do not get hammered by everybody else. I told you the same thing about Stevens last week, and Stevens got his, but so did everybody else. You had, was it Tanjay who had like a career high? You got to play defense. You just flat out got to play defense. It's March. If you don't play defense, you're going home.
Defend the 3-point line, because I think that will open everything up for Wyoming. If they start hitting early threes, then it draws the Lobos out even further from the basket. And then that's when you can see the downhill play, the back cuts, things that have really hurt the Lobos when they get beat off the dribble. And that's going to be a challenge, is you want to run them off the 3-point line, but you also don't want to give them free rides to the basket. And so I think perimeter defense, that's going to be the key, just the effort and energy setting the tone, because this team's not going to flip the script. This team is not going to be a team that wins the Mountain West tournament because they're a defensive team. They got to find their moments to be a defensive team. There's going to be a lot of possessions. They play fast. If they're scoring at an efficient tempo and pace on offense, that usually helps them. But just be prepared. That I know it's postseason play, things slow down. I don't know if that's a world the Lobos are going to be able to live in. But if the game slows down, it will be interesting to see if less possessions potentially helps the Lobos on the defensive end.
How much you want to see the offense, because I do, run through the post. And that, whether that means Udeze on the low post, or I don't even mind watching it run through Alec in the high post, because I think their high-low game is actually pretty nice when they run it. But I think there's a little bit of an advantage there, and I'd like to see Mo involved in the half-court offense.
That's their whole game. That's how
Udeze right?
is like one of the leading scorers in Mountain West play.
No, I think it's got to be. All right, I think they win tonight. 7 feels like a little thick of a number. I'm feeling in that 4, 5, 6 range. I'd love it to be a little more comfortable. I'm not sure. Watching this team over the last 10 games, I feel like comfortable laying 7 points with them.
Yeah, because this is one where then you see him play a team like San Jose State on the road, and it's a good performance from the Lobos, or even the Fresno State game. They come back home, they win that one, but it's a lot of points, a lot of possessions, and I feel like this game is going to look more like the last game they played against Fresno State.
Okay,
high number of possessions, a lot of points scored. Lobos come out on top.
All right, email came in. We also spent a lot of time talking quarterbacks and Lamar Jackson and where does he go and what. Grady said, very exclusive free agents of the OD and the AM. The Lamar Jackson conversation was strong again. Jeff, you may have hit the real nail on the head regarding Baltimore's refusal to pay Lamar what he wants. NFL owners at a whole absolutely do not want another guaranteed contract out there to set further precedent. The non-guaranteed contracts are the NFL's last tool to ensure maximum profits for owners and the league and to keep ultimate leverage over players. The debate on where Jackson is ranked among NFL quarterbacks is fun, and in the AFC, there aren't more than 2 better than he is, in my opinion. And JJ's dead on with his take that finding a quality quarterback is and should be paramount to all NFL teams. But Jackson's skills and or ranking isn't the issue at all. He says, thanks to my guy Howard for wanting to support the Panthers tonight. NFHS is the only way to go to watch. Hopefully watch the Panthers win. Our bags are packed. Our flight lands this afternoon. We'll catch the shuttle, and we'll end up at the Rio Rancho Event Center by game time. The village will be deep out there. It should be a lot of fun. I'm not a fan of the 8 a.m. games either, but I am happy the MAA moved the semifinal games of the smaller classes to the pit this season. I've complained for a long time that the smaller classifications shouldn't have to make it to the championship game to experience the pit, just like the larger classifications don't. Good games, exciting, competitive games being played in front of passionate, loud fans aren't exclusive to classes 4 and 5A. So playing more 8 a.m. games was a compromise. I, for one, am okay with that. Hopefully Pecos boys can win today and get their own chance to walk down the pit ramp. Getting my popcorn ready for a week of great basketball. Grady and Santa Fe by way of the Pecos Panthers Express. Edward called in, and part of Edward, he was a caller earlier. JJ, part of it, he's like, come on, NMA, get it together. There's only so much time in a day, man. There's only there's only 24 hours in a day. And if you want to play everybody in the pit, yeah, man, you got to start at 8 a.m. Well, you could play them on Friday. Well, really, you can't with as many games as they're playing. I will tell you this, and I think he hit it on the head. Would you rather play at pick your time that's convenient for you, fan, in Rio Rancho, or would you rather play at 8 a.m. in the pit? And I will tell you, I think 100%, maybe 99, want to walk down the ramp in the pit.
Every single player will take the pit. Every single player will take the pit.
Yeah, and you can't all play at 7 o'clock at night or at 4 in the afternoon. They're gonna I think they run a bunch of the girls' championship games on Friday.
I've called, yes, me being Mr. Primetime, a couple.
You are Primetime.
Low level, just classifications, not low level games.
Yeah, 1A, 2A.
1A,
yeah,
like championship games early in the pit, and the energy's amazing.
Yeah,
and it's not bad basketball. Like they're ready to go. They're locked in. Yeah, it's early, but it's the chance to win a championship in the pit. That building matters to basketball players in this state. And that's why whether it's 8 a.m. or 7 p.m., you get a chance to play for a title, you want to do it in that building.
I told you I did that game on Saturday, the 116 4A boy game, Academy versus Goddard. And we did a post-game interview with Kellen Garris from Academy. And that was the first thing he said. He's a senior, right? Last year, they didn't play in the pit until the semifinals. They played at campus sites the first round in the quarterfinals, and they got beat in the quarterfinal round last year. The year before was the COVID year. The year before they didn't get there. He says, I'm a senior. I finally get to play in the pit. It was his first thing that he said in his first comment after the game. It's what they want, man. That place is special. It's like a baseball player in LA. High school baseball championships are played at Dodger Stadium, right? That's what they want. In Texas, they get to play football in Jerry's World. It's that stage. And so, yes, I would push back on Edward a little bit. Yeah, 8 a.m. isn't perfect, but I will tell you, every one of those kids will get up, be ready. And you know what? They play AAU tournaments. Man, you play at 8 in the morning all the time, and then you play at 10, and then you play at 2, and then you play at 9 at night, and it's just the way that game is. And I don't think one person, if they had their druthers, if you said what time do you want to play, it wouldn't be 8 a.m., but I promise you, man, their parents will be there, and those kids will be pumped, and it's pretty special. All right, we sit here tomorrow. Are we talking about a Lobo win, or are we having a morgue tomorrow?
Win.
I think so too. Thanks to Sebastian Noel for being with us today, the voice of the people. Adrian, great work on the video side as always. Hey, Marie, thanks for walking us through all these problems. I know you got a lot going on when we're remote.
You rocked it. Have fun in Vegas. Go Lobos.
We'll do it again tomorrow. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Coward comes your way at 1, 2 men on at 4 o'clock. And we're back with award-winning radio tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Don't forget Lobo Basketball over on News Radio, KKOB, 4:30 pregame, 5 o'clock tip. See you tomorrow morning. Have a great day, boys and girls. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll see you tomorrow.
Too strong. It's going to be a rebound there by Brown. Brown gets it in. Bucket there by Alter.
Crossover for Jackson. Salas steals the rebound and finds a cutting Mitchell at the rim.
Great move.
It's almost even in the foul territory in the Cueva. Looking to take advantage. Said Yates draws the foul, and one opportunity is said, gives the muscles down.
And it's 11-4, 38. Another turnover by Rio Grande. Montoya off the glass, up and in, back-to-back layups for the Demons.
Oh, it's stolen away again by Valdez. Valdez is going to bring it out.
Valdez has to have around 3 or 4 steals. 3 by Mays.
Bingo! That one rattles in for Alyssa Mays, and the All-District Player of the Year has 12.
Penetrates, no foul call. Rodriguez lines one up and knocks down the 3. First basket of the night.
Has to back it out.
Look at this deep 3.
Wow! That was from NBA range.
What a steal. Stevison 2-on-1, gets up, gets it in.
He doesn't use it, comes back out to Dominguez, who takes a 3. Boom! There's that man, Superman.
Turns, shoots off. Oh, he made that.
Wow. That was crazy. That was a crazy shot.
Has everybody on him. Now he got open.
Open look for a 3, and that's what he does. A 3 for Dennerclaw. His first bucket of the game. And that's a 3, and it'll count at the buzzer.